Good morning, everybody. We are waiting for some more distinguished guests to arrive. So, most probably, we will start in within 3 4 minutes, or latest by 5 minutes. We will begin this program. Thank you. Good morning, all. Uh, we are really delighted to welcome you in this national level program, launching of innovative backyard poultry model on behalf of Feed, Transform Rural India, and Passing Gifts. Uh, this program, uh, I, this program is basically integral to Hatching Hope program, which is groundbreaking initiative designed to help farmers to earn a sustainable living income. Hatching Hope initiative is supported by Cargill and co-developed by Heifer International and Feed. This model has been piloted successfully in Odisha and is now set to be scaled up along with Transforming Rural India Foundation in 7 Indian states are Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. So, through today's program, we intend to bring together the key stakeholders from the development sector, from the government, and the private sector. And without further ado, I would request our Passing Gifts Executive Director, Ms. Reena Soni, to come and formally welcome you. Thank you. Over to you, Reena.
So a very good morning to everybody और सबको मेरा नमस्ते एंड स्पेशली जो आप सब लोग इतने दूर से आए हैं आंध्र प्रदेश से उड़ीसा से उनको एक बहुत बड़ा वेलकम आप इसके लिए इधर आए एंड आई रियली एक्सटेंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऑल डिफरेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स हु हैव कम to learn about what this model is talking about, because we feel that this is something which can transform lives of millions of smallholder farmers that are there. So what we are going to do today is we are going to discuss about our model that we have brought about, and like Anamika shared that this is under the Hatching Hope program. And I just want to share that last year we were doing a workshop on Hatching Hope, and there was a seminar that we had done exactly same time around last year also, and Dr. Abhijit Mitra was there, and he says, stop calling it Hatching Hope, say Hashed Hope, because this is what it is all about. And today I really feel that it's actually Hashed Hope, because when we will listen to all the people, those who have traveled from Andhra Pradesh and Orissa, they will talk about this model, that how is it that they have benefited them. And like Chiranjit sir, you were mentioning that it's also talking about how we can get this this knowledge disseminated, and this is what we have trying to do today, because we want to build this like a movement where all people come together and talk about how is it that we can take this initiative forward and bring hope in lives of all the millions of farmers who are there. This initiative has that kind of potential. So I would really extend a very warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, Mr. Datta, like you, sir, and Mr. Chiranjit Singh, and also for all, especially Ms. Gloria and Mr. Rajkumar and Anuj and Mr. Barkati, who have all come from, different parts of the country to talk about this. So this model that we are going to introduce today, like the team is going to talk about, but it is talking about a comprehensive solution, which I said can really transform the landscape of rural poultry farming in India. And this is what we are going to talk about. Since all of us are very busy, I'll not take much of time. I extend once again a very, very warm welcome to each one of you, and especially warm welcome to our CEO, Surita Sandoshan, who is our global CEO, and Nina, who is our Senior Vice President, Asia, to have joined us. And this shows the commitment of our organization to this initiative. So with that, I'd like to invite Surita to come and share some of her thoughts and what is it that we do at Heifer International and how does this tie in. So over to Surita.
Thank you, Reena ji. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the esteemed senior government dignitaries and to our lovely farmers who are here today, and friends from the media, and everybody else that has joined us. It is really a great honor to be able to stand here today at the inaugural session of the national level program launching of the innovative backyard poultry model, which we're about to see. And I want you to know that as president and CEO of Heifer International, I'm deeply committed to our mission of ending hunger, poverty, while caring for the earth. And in India, we are working very closely with our partner and subsidiary Passing Gifts to play a very crucial role in advancing this mission. As you all know, Heifer is dedicated to ending hunger, poverty, looking at economic sustainability. And we believe that every person deserves a dignified life from hunger and poverty. And our approach centers on empowering smallholder farmers who are vital to global food security and rural economies, and they are the producers of the food that we eat every day. And in India, Passing Gifts supports our Heifer International's mission by providing consulting, training, advisory, and technical support. Our aim is really to create sustainable models that improve livelihoods, boost incomes, and expand market access, therefore and thereby ensuring self-reliance and resilience in the communities that we support. And our farmers are essential to our food systems. But as you all know, they face numerous challenges. And Passing Gifts, in alignment with our mission, Heifer International, supports their transition from subsistence farming essentially to sustainable livelihoods. And we do this by promoting income diversification through backyard poultry farming, goat rearing, and kitchen gardens. And we've empowered, since our existence, 135,000 women across India, enhancing their economic resilience and food security. So backyard poultry farming faces challenges such as high mortality rates and inadequate health care for the chickens that are part of the backyard farming. And to address these, Heifer International is doing this in collaboration with Cargill, as you've heard, under the Hatching Hope program, now called Hatched Hope program. We'll make that official. And with technical input from the Forum of Enterprises for Equitable Development, the acronym FEED, which is appropriate. Technical difficulty here. FEED, who has developed an innovative backyard poultry model. Initially piloted in Odisha, this model focuses on improving productivity and reducing mortality. We're now scaling this model to 7 states across India, providing a scalable solution for rural development and poverty alleviation. Globally, through the Hatching Hope project, we aim to improve the livelihoods of 100 million people by 2030. And I've already made a commitment to Dipanwita that we intend to keep that goal and intend to meet that goal because we're not doing it alone. And this initiative really empowers poultry farmers with sustainable practices and better market access, particularly focusing on benefiting women and enhancing their resilience and prosperity. Our approach at Heifer International is both locally led and globally connected. We empower local communities. Actually, it's not so much empowering. We work with local communities, especially women, to lead development efforts, supported by global knowledge, local knowledge, and capacity building. Our community agrovet entrepreneurs, CAVES, that model exemplifies this because it enables women to become micro-entrepreneurs and support local value chains. Strengthening our agricultural value chains is central to our strategy. And by improving these chains from production to market, we create more opportunities for farmers to benefit and build resilience. Passing Gift's work in developing goat and poultry value chains has significantly advanced farmer incomes, and it's strengthened their ability to withstand climate change impacts. I want you to know that India is a key focus for Heifer International and Passing Gifts. We are dedicated to addressing the challenges faced by our farmers, particularly women, and we're committed to scaling our initiatives, supporting farmer-producer organizations, and fostering a holistic development, really through partnerships with local governments, corporates, and civil society. And you all are here representing that multi-sectoral partnership. And I want to say in conclusion that Heifer International, with Passing Gifts, is dedicated to ending hunger and poverty while caring for the earth. And through our focus on income diversification, value chain development, and technological innovation, what we're striving to do is really create a more resilient and equitable food system. As we move forward, I'm urging the esteemed government officials who are here today from Animal Husbandry and Rural Development Ministries really to partner with us to support our innovative backyard poultry model and other initiatives. This will ensure that the work that we're doing is sustainable if we do it in partnership. Your support is vital in expanding these models to reach more farmers and achieve a sustainable rural development. We know, and this is our experience working in 19 countries around the world, that together we can create lasting change and empower those who are most in need. I want to thank you all for your continued support and partnership in this very, very important mission.
Thank you so much, Surita, for reiterating Passing Gifts and Heifer International's commitment towards smallholder farmers, and also for highlighting how we, Passing Gifts, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Heifer International, has been working in India to diversify farming in order to make farming a sustainable source of income for smallholder farmers in India. With this, we will move to the first technical session. And this session will be led by Mr. Akshay Vishwal, who is with Passing Gifts Orissa office. He is the Signature Program Director at Passing Gifts Orissa office. And Mr. Akshay will be supported by Dr. Pankaj Das, who is representing Feed. Apart from that, Vikas Kunj from TRIF and Dr. Abdul Sheikh from PGPL will also be part of this panel. Over to you, Akshay.
Yes.
Is it all right? Yeah. We're in a mood so we can see. Is that all right?
Yeah. So good morning everyone, and before we start with our formal presentation, we have community members, and they have drawn a nice model, in a chart paper, and then I would like to request them to present that. I don't want that to be repeated, before we speak. It will be really good to listen to them. So I would request Jayanti Didi and Pravasini Didi. Sarat tike dhar diyo hathare. So they'll be sharing from their experience, and also they'll be presenting. Thank you. Yeah. ऊपर को पड़े चेयर को पड़े माइक रे. हाँ. हाँ कौन
यहाँ जितने सारे लोग हैं सब लोगों को नमस्ते।
नमस्ते everyone.
मेरा नाम प्रभासिनी पात्र है। मैं उड़ीसा मयूरभंज ठाकुरमुंडा ब्लॉक से आया हूँ। तो मुझे हिंदी ज़्यादा कम आता है तो माफ़ कर दीजिए। मैं उड़िया में ही
ओडिया रे को ओडिया
बोलता हूँ।
समस्त को नमस्कार। मोर ना है जयंती महातो, ग्राम पानपसी, पंचायत जर, ब्लॉक ठाकुरमुंडा, जिला मयूरभंज, ओडिशा रु मु आसी जने कुकुड़ा चासी।
So Jayanti Didi and Prabhasini Didi, both of them are from Mayurbhanj district of Odisha, and then they have been rearing poultry for some time now. So they'll be sharing from their experience and also their understanding about the model and that source on ownership of community. Yeah. खुद
सर प्रथमे आम कौन करूँ ना आम हूँ घरे कुकुड़ा चाष केमती करूँ तो आम किसी जान नु कुकुड़ा मैंने सब बाहर बुलूले तापर किसी कुकुड़ा आमर माने वर्षा पानी ये जोगुरु नष्ट भी जाते तो संबंध हाइफर बोली आम किसी जान नु तो एसएचजी माध्यम संबंधर जो सार और दीदी से जाकि आम गाँव में मीटिंग करते मीटिंग कलापर कुकुड़ा चाष केमी अधिक कर हूँ केमती कौन पालन कले ठीक से से ट्रेनिंग देते ट्रेनिंग नेला परे आम कौन कलु जमती माने बाह्य सिक्यूरीटी मेंटेन करके आम कुकुड़ा निजे ये करके करूँ चाष जहाँफल आम अधिक चाष करूँ तो से आम 2 पैसा रोजगार करूँ कलापर आम पाई किछिटा खर्च उठाऊलु तो
translate karibi, sorry. So she is talking about her experience. Poultry has been part of their life. It's culturally connected to their life, and it's not about business only or money. It's for traditions and rituals they need poultry in their houses, and for starting from meat at their household whenever any relative is visiting to them. So they need poultry, and they have been rearing it. In between, through our program, our partners connected. Our partners connected with them, and then they were imparted training on improved poultry management. And apart from that, they were also taught about how to rear poultry differently, whatever they were, whichever way they were managing traditionally, how it can be done separately, differently, so that they can earn better. There will be reduction in mortality, so that their profit goes up.
आगरू आम कि जान नी कुकुड़ा विषय कुकुड़ा रखुले किंतु कुकुड़ा जो मरुड़ी आसुले मरी जाते एवं संभव जो दीदी मैंने जामको ट्रेनिंग देले ट्रेनिंग देलापर आम कुकुड़ा विषय जानिले वैक्सीनेशन करले खाद्य ठीक टाइम रे खाइबा देले कुकुड़ार जत्न नेले से आम बहुत कुकुड़ा माने बिक्री करुछु खाऊछु आम जो पर्वपर्वाणी होछि पर्वपर्वाणी रे भी बहुत कुकुड़ा आम बिक्री करुछु.
So as I was telling, they didn't know much about how to rear it technically. So post implementation of this project, and then once they have undergone training program, they have started understanding technicality of doing it better, and then that has given them better results. They are able to reduce mortality of backyard poultry and then gain more. And apart from that, they are whatever earning they are getting, कौन दीदी?
तो एबे कुकुड़ा बिक्री करिकी आमे 2 पैसा रोजगार करिथिबारु हमको बहुत खुशी लागुछि. आगरु एपरी आर्थिक अवस्था थिला आम हाथ को किछि पैसा आसी पारु नथिला एबे बहुत खुशी लागुछि किछि रोजगार.
So they are happy that they are able to earn extra and then they are able to spend that for good reasons. Model विषय कहे.
हमारे बीओआईपी बिजनेस मॉडल आमर ए चलती ठाकुरमुंडा से तो आम से बीडर फार्मर हिसाब से अच्छु तो आमर बीडर फार्मर 10 जन अच्छु 2टा हैचेरी 10-20 जन बीडर फार्मर अच्छु तो बीडर फार्मर काम है सी 8टी हेन आउ 42टी हेन 8टी रोस्टर रखी टोटाल करी 50 तो 50 रखला परे सी कौन करेंगे जो अंडा कलेक्शन करेंगे अंडा कलेक्शन कलापर आम क्या बिक्री करूँ ना हाचेरी को ହାଚେରୀ କୁ अंडा तो केमिति कौन अच्छी आम जान ताकू कैंडल लाइट साहाଯ୍य आम चिन्हट करवा जे अंडाटा एक्चुअली क्वालिटी अंडा कि नुह बोलिकी तो चिन्हट कलापर आम हाचेरी को दबा अंडा हाचेरी कौन कर आमको पैसा देकी आमठू किणिकी हाचेरी यूनिट अंडा नब तो हाचेरी यूनिट रखला हाचेरी यूनिट रे 21 दिन हाचेरी यूनिट रहिबो सेठू चिया बाहरला परे ब्रूडिंग यूनिट रे रखा जिवो.
So there is a calculation. She is talking about the new model they have started implementing in Mayurbhanj and Keonjhar district of Odisha, where both of them are playing role of breeder farmers. So where they have identified almost around kete jana breeder farmer 20 breeder farmers. Those will be rearing almost around 100 hen each, and they'll be supplying eggs to hatchery. So once eggs are hatched, then that will be supplied to brooding unit. Aku kuhantu.
तापरे आमे सेठी आमे 28 रु 30 दिन टी कुकुडा चियाटी रखला परे आमे किनी आनबा फैटिंग फार्म को आनबा आनी सारी की आमे रखबा 4.5 मास पर्यंत 4 रु 4.5 मास पर्यंत कुकुडा मन को रखिले से माने 1 केजी रु ऊपर को हेबे धरा जो 1200 ऊपर को भड़िया हेबे तापरे आमे बिक्री करबा ठाकुर मुंडा प्रोड्यूसर कंपनी को आमे बिक्री करला परे तापरे से
So once the chicks are there in brooding unit for 28 days to 30 days, so those chicks will be sold to fattening farmers, and fattening farmers will be rearing it for 3.5 months to 4 months, and the weight, it is expected that the weight will be around 1 kg 200 grams to 1500 grams, and then that will be sold to the farmer producer organization. So farmer producer organization plays a critical role of managing it overall this model, and they provide all the input support and link farmers to the market. So that's the model. Yes, आप किसी कहिबे?
आगे सुन सर मु कहूची तापरे एठी बिक्री करला परे धरा आमे शेयर मनी रे मिसी छु सेठी से माने से जाफ्रेस कंपनी को जो बिक्री करबे सेठी 2 पैसा लाभ होला शेयर मनी रे जेहेतु मिसी छु आमे सेठी भी आमे किछि रोजगार करि पारलु ता फल रे एठी आमे रोजगार करलु पुणी एठी जे अंडा बिक्री करले समाने रोजगार करले कुकड़ा जे बिक्री करले समाने रोजगार करले हाचेरी रे जो अंडा चिया बाहर करले सेठी रोजगार करले ता फल रे आमे समस्त मिसी के रोजगार करि पारिबा.
So she is saying that it will operate as a unit where the farmer producer organization takes lead and manages everything. And she was also mentioning about one company we have tied up for the marketing of birds, Jaffrey's. So once they sell it through farmer producer organization, then the farmer producer organization which belongs to them will benefit out of it, and it will be a sustainable initiative. Aao kichi kahibe? Dhanyabad.
आम टोटाल मिसिकी आम 122 जन लोक मेम्बर होचु तो समस्ते केमिति निज गोरे निजे ठिया कि निजर परिवार बा निजर छुआपाई किसी पैसा खर्च करचु सेति पई आम गर्व मने करचु तो मु सेति कहि कि रहउछि.
So all the members are happy that they are able to earn more and they are able to spend that money for education of their children. So they are feeling proud about it. Thank you. Dhanyabad. So now we'll go to our presentation. This is, yeah, okay. So I wanted, made some change. I wanted them to present it basically because I saw them with that picture and then they were they wanted it to present. So I thought, because we'll be presenting same thing. So it's better to listen from those who have been practicing it, and so Jayanti Mahanto and Prabhasini Patra. Yeah. So basically when it comes to BYP or native birds, so as I was mentioning, it's part of the culture of farmers. And it's not only being reared only for money, but it has different requirements. Starting from their cultural, even festivities, they need birds. And also, whenever they have guests, they did not have to look for the market. They can always use meat, consume meat, and that's something they were mentioning about. The most important thing is that, through this, although it's a small bird, but when they manage it properly with this model, what we think is that, it boosts rural income and family nutrition as well. Because we are not only talking about business, we are also talking about, consumption pattern, nutrition in their food plate. Then second thing is BYP is something which is where the demand is growing because we keep on hearing about different things from different sectors. But when it comes to native birds, locally there is a huge demand. Wherever it is being, the farming is happening, we see lots of demand in the local market itself. And in the country, out of total market, 7 to 80%, 8% of market share belongs to, this is native bird. And, sorry, yeah. Then there is a higher return also. Recently we were discussing in the field, the price has really gone up. Normally on an average, native bird is sold at 350 rupees per kg in the local market. But whenever there is a requirement, it also goes up to 500 to 600 rupees per kg. So increase happens for the good of farmer. So we have seen it brings good money for the farmer family, and then there is a high return. And also the eggs, although we have mentioned 9 to 10 rupees, this is the average. On an average 9 to 10 rupees per egg is sold. But at times it goes up to 15 rupees. So that also gives them more benefit. And the industry is growing, poultry sector as such is growing, and desi bird or native bird has definitely more demand in the market. There is a rise in egg production. There is also a rise in consumption of meat. A demand of meat in the market. And the most important thing is that this model is going to ensure business for the women, and ultimately women farmers, those who take care of poultry bird, are going to benefit out of it. So this model is women centric, where we see women economic empowerment is happening, and then their position in the society is also is growing, and they are part of, because of this, they are part of decision making process as well. So it has, when we are talking about new model, it has certain unique components. First one is the training on biosecurity, which was not happening. When it comes to normal poultry, native poultry bird rearing, biosecurity was never considered, and it's very important, all of us, we understand how it plays, and it reduces mortality, and also it takes care of human and animal health. So that's very important component here. So that is being taken care of. Second thing is, we are also running awareness campaign, which definitely talks about biosecurity measure, antimicrobial resistance and all that, and zoonotic diseases, and how animals and birds have to be managed well, so that the production will enhance, the flock size will increase, and that will result into more profit. So, and also we are talking about nutrition consumption, how, which way they can shift from one way of consuming, how they can ensure nutrition in their plate. Then it also talks about vertical integration, which is very, very important. Farmer dealing with market individually will has certain challenges which can be taken care of through this. Then community resource persons and CAPES. CAPES, community aggregate entrepreneurs, we have, that's a system through which we are creating services for the farmers at their doorstep. So for each 200, a cluster of 200 families, we have identified one CAPE who has been rendering service to farmers, starting from deworming, vaccination, which is neglected area when it comes to native birds, that is being taken care of by the CAPES. And apart from that, this CAPE Didis are also trying to provide the input support, other input support to the farmers. So they are growing as entrepreneurs locally also. And through that, we are creating resource persons in the community level, at the community level, who can support to the farmers. Then there is the model actually provides with opportunity of continuous learning and growing further. While we are engaging with farmer didis, we can see from their confidence how they have learned, and then their learning is also helping us to learn further and then implement it better. And basically, when it comes to the model is a comprehensive model which looks into livelihood, income, economic empowerment, and gender aspect also. So this is a beautiful model, and then which will definitely ensure benefit for the farmers. And this is a model in the picture, and this is what was presented by our farmer didis. In a model, farmer producer organization plays major role, which is like a collective of SHGs, and close to, it depends on varies from areas to areas. So 2,000 to 5,000 farmers are part of it. They are all members of the farmer producer organizations. They play different roles. The model, in the model we see there is a group called breeding farmers, breeder unit, where the poultry is reared to supply eggs, produce eggs and supply it to the hatchery. And once the egg comes to hatchery, it is kept there, in the hatchery for 21 days. So the next important component is brooder unit. So once the day-old chick comes out of the hatchery, it goes to brooding unit for 28 days to 30 days, and that's the place where initial treatment and initial nourishment is given to the chicks. And that's the most risky period. The first month is considered to be the risky period, and once the risk is managed, then it goes to the fattening farmers. So in entire model, it's not given like that. Everyone is rearing and then they are selling it to the next level. So they make business in that. And this is the complete ecosystem of the model, which is overall management is with farmer producer organization. They don't only manage the model, they also ensure the linkage and to the market, and also ensure that all services and all the inputs are given to the farmers on time. Yes, I'll invite Dr. Pankaj to speak about the economics.
Yeah, about economics, as Akshay shared, this whole model, there is one major part is the breeder farm, which is called parent farm. Remember, in her shed, about night shelter, the bird will stay at night shelter, and the daytime, they will be kept in the surrounding, covering by a net. I will show the picture. Total cost is around 1,16,450. But thing is that if a woman rear 200 bird, in 2 years she will be able to earn near about 1 lakh rupees sitting at home. That is 50,000 per year annual income a woman can ensure. Okay, 50,000. Yeah.
Does it include the market linkage?
Yeah.
After market linkage.
Yeah. After market. Everything. That will be her net profit.
So,
After deducting all the costs and as well as the market. Suppose in what we calculated, an egg will be sold to hatchery person, entrepreneur, at the rate of 9 to 10 rupees. According to them, calculation is taken. Also, we have taken the calculation of the 80%, only 80% eggs will be picked up to the hatchery. Because initially there will be a pullet eggs will not be accepted by the hatchery. At the rest period, there will be a larger size hatchery that will not be taken by the hatchery. So, we are taking about the standard percentage.
So we have a detailed cost calculation, and we can say that. Yeah.
Secondly, this model, there will be a hatchery which capacity of 2,000 hatching. That means in a month, maximum capacity is 2,000. There will be 1,000, there will be 2 setter consisting of 1,000 setter, and 1 hatcher consists of 1,000. And if a entrepreneur, this required an entrepreneur. This cannot be run by the SSG group or like that. This should be anyone, the woman, village man, like a person, whatever it may be. This can be, and in a month, he or she can earn around 13 to 14,000 per month. In a year, after deducting the all cost, a farmer can earn near about 1,60,000 rupees staying at home after deducting all costs, including electricity also. This is called breathing unit. This is we calculated with the 1,000 birds, and actually after hatchery, day old 6, 1,000 day old 6 will be reared for 28 to 30 days. During that period, the basic treatment like Ranicate disease vaccine on 5 days, 12 days IBD, again it will be given that is the Losota on 26 days, as well as initial vitamin AD3, K, calcium in 9 days, all calculation is there, and in a there will be a 10 batch. So, an woman or farmer sitting at home can earn that is 7,000 per month. That is what we calculated, that is minimum that is gaining. Maybe the 8,000 also, 7,500 also, but this will be the minimum 7,000. A farmer will get rearing 1,000 bird for only 30 days in the brooding. That is called mother introduction. Next is called fattening, and this is the challenge. This is actually why we know the backward poultry. Never, if I ask anyone, or everyone says that backward poultry, yes, success nahi hoga, yes, success nahi hoga. Because previously the model was the 20 bars giving 30 bars, 40 bars. In this model, we are taking that is all in, all out system, like broiler. A farmer will take 100 bars of 1 month old and she will rear for 135 days. Our whole this scenario is like that. Generally what happened, a backward indigenous bird required 190 to 200 days to gain a 1 kg body weight. And this model, our emphasis is that within 160 days we have to achieve 1 kg. That is minimum 35 to 40 days. How it will come, that we will discuss. So a member will rear 100 birds, and in 135 days her whole batch, the FPO will sell the whole batch. There will be a competition among the members. Suppose one member body weight maybe 1.2 kg, another member body weight can be 1.1. According to that, he or she will able to gain money, profit. So in a year, if a member rear minimum 100 birds, then she will get at least 26,000 sitting at home. She doesn't have to go to outside for anything. She will say, cabs will come, cabs will help in the treatment, cabs will help in the vaccination. Okay. This is the model. This housing, if you see, there is a backside a night shelter. Generally, night shelter, a bird required 2 square feet. In the outside, you see covered with the, that is the plastic weight. That is around 1.5 to 2 square feet. This will be required. In the front, there will be a footbath, putting disinfectant, which will be rotated daily. So during daytime, birds will come outside. In the night shift, birds will go to night shelter. In the night shelter, there will be a box where egg will lay hen. There will be a series of box like this tiring system. So that we should not increase the house dimension, we have to minimize on that. So that is the model the again the food, if you see, generally what happen, lots of poultry experts are there. A backward indigenous bird require 100 to 105 grams per day. If you took average, what I calculated around 60. If you see 60% of the total cost, that is in the chicken, it is coming from the feed. So if we provide 30 grams of feed, the commercial feed which can be manufactured locally also, that is not a big issue, along with 40 to 50 grams of azolla. In the each share there is some feed like that. In suppose 10 by 10 square of feet azolla, it's around 3 kg azolla production per day can happen. That can be given to ensure the body get in advance, along with the other domestic nutrient, kibeska, that is the kibeska patta ho, like some worms, whatever may be, broken rice, rice sauce, whatever may be. And this alternative, generally what is happen in indigenous bird, farmer never ever think about the feed. Here, farmer has to think little bit about their feed, how birds can be developed.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically in the model, what we have tried to do is we have calculated every component, each and every component, which was not the case when it comes to native bird or BYP farming. So earlier farmers used to rear poultry and then they used to feed them from their rice, paddy and all that. So they never calculated how much of cost they incurred while rearing poultry. But in this model, we try to calculate every bit of it so that we clearly understand how much of profit will come to the farmer, each and every segment of the farmer, and that is essential. And after this calculation, you see the interest of farmers. They are able to articulate the models. Our farmers. Yes, we have that in Excel sheet. Yeah. So it's not here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or else we can finish it and then we can see it. Yeah. We can discuss. Yeah. So for scale up, yeah, to scale up, the states we are talking about, we see that this model can be, this will bring better result to the farmers when it comes to poultry farming. So we see some of the opportunity where we can converge with government schemes and we can ensure that the farmers are getting benefit out of it. The first one is National Livestock Mission for Poultry Intervention, where there is a 50% of subsidy for farmers, and this is this can be utilized as capital cost of the project. Then fodder conservation. So there is a scheme from NLM, which we can think about feeding this azolla and other feed also. Then animal husbandry infrastructure development, there is also a scheme which provides a loan with a minor, small rate of interest, which is 3%. And yeah.
Intervention.
Yes.
Interest subvention at 3%.
3%, yeah. And loan is for 6 years. So we thought, and also there is MGNREGA scheme which can be, we can think of converging all this, and the model can be implemented on the ground. Yeah. So, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. If any more questions on the model, we can respond to that, or else we have Didis, those who would like to share their experience. We have Cape Didis from Odisha, and also we have farmers from Andhra Pradesh. Yes.
Cost of the structure.
We'll share that. We'll share the Excel sheet and we'll be sharing in details, yeah. Till that time, anything on the model, other than costing part?
Just tell me what is the production level of each bird?
Yeah,
Those are the questions.
I am showing you what that's.
Yeah.
So
So, so at different level, there is a different calculation. For fattening farmer, we are talking about,
how many eggs we are getting?
Yeah, I'll show you, sir. Just.
My question is that
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is the end product you are targeting?
Yeah. Generally, sir, there are 3 clans in a year. Then, in generally indigenous bird, my experience it is the 60 to 65. That is the maximum. 7 से 62 अंडा देते हैं एक साल में 65. But this model, if you provide feed and other nutrition, properly grading अगर करते हैं, it can be. Though books is telling about the 95, 80, but in village conditions it is 70, 72 तक जा सकते, not more than that.
So you are targeting for meat purpose or egg?
Only meat purpose.
Only meat.
Only meat purpose.
So with 70 egg production,
Yeah.
how it is going to be feasible? Your hatchery unit something you are telling me.
Yeah.
70 eggs no per year.
How this 2000 hatchery capacity?
It's very difficult.
No, sir.
आपने किस में दिया था? आपने मेल
Mail में किया था.
आप मुझे भेज सकते हो फटाफट?
Depends upon the bird breed which
हाँ,
is
भेज
for
दो.
eggs,
मुझे
extra
भेज
for breeding purpose and extra for
You
consumption.
are targeting native chicken.
Yeah, native.
I don't know, sir. It is
That's
not open.
we,
I don't
we
know.
cut, for example, in Andhra Pradesh, farmers ask for different varieties for the local market driven.
That
So,
is specified. Otherwise, no,
yeah.
it's not going.
Rashtriya was one
70
variety.
eggs now.
Yeah.
You have a hatcher setup unit.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the model, let me, till the time, they get. So in the model, what we are talking about, each of the breeder farmer will be rearing around 100 birds. So then we have the calculation, there are 20 breeder farmers, those will be supplying eggs to the hatchery. So in that case, we are having 20 into 100 is the number of birds we'll be calculating, and then in the hatchery, there are different plates. So each plate will be having 600 to 700 eggs at one go. So every week there will be for hatchery, there will be requirement of 6 to 700 eggs. So that has been taken into account and the cost has been calculated.
Okay.
This what we are thinking is this exactly is based on this model. We have just reversed the model in National Livestock Mission to scale up the production as well as the profitability. So this breed, these parts we are maintaining this. We have already developed this low input technology part.
Yeah.
That parts are producing the same variety. This is suppose it's crossed from the this parts is evolved from the red jungle cow to now the situation is that we have a 300 eggs per week per year part.
Yeah.
So we have developed the parts of low input technology which gives eggs for 150 on an average in the farmer backyard. So if the bird farmers are getting 150 eggs per bird per year, that the profitability is more in case of egg production.
Definitely.
But fattening, this if you sell out whole of the bird, then this bird will go and this it is one time profit kind of thing. It's like a product. Then this if suppose it is a FPO model, FPO here is involved only for marketing purpose and sharing the profits to the farmers. So my thinking is that what we are implementing, that FPO is also eligible under the National Livestock Mission. FPO, SHG, self-help group, JLG, everybody is eligible. So if they establish this parent farm, and from parent farm they are producing the chicks. Suppose 1000 parent farm birds, it can produce 500 eggs. So taking into consideration 50% of the production. So 500 eggs per day it will come, and if they establish on hatchery, then 3000 capacity hatchery can run very well. In weekly they can produce 2000 birds, 2000 chicks which can be reared in the mother unit, And the small farmers who are involved in the FPO, they can be shared with the 200 parts, and they can maintain all the inputs should go from the FPO to them, and they can buy back. Whether they can also use the same variety of part as the fattening bird, or they can use the same variety of part for the egg production. So if you say the production, suppose one farmer is maintaining 200 parts, say 50% egg is produced after attaining the age of 16 to 20 weeks, because desi bird, it will came to the maturity after 20 weeks. So then farmers have to maintain 20 weeks in their home for coming to the age, at the age of selling marketable egg. So whereas in case of broiler, it is 28 days to 35 days, the broiler is ready for production of meat. So this kind of these inputs will be required by the farmer. So if they are maintaining 200 parts for laying birds, so then if the farmers is managed to get this 100 eggs per day, so see this situation, this 600 rupees, 700 rupees per day he or she can income, and if you multiply in the monthly, it will come about this 21,000. So scalability should be think about.
Yeah.
Instead of going to maintaining the desi bird, this in South India there is big demand of SL. SL is producing 50 eggs in India. Then there is a demand of the Karakna in this region. Karakna is producing 80 eggs per year. So with this scalability, cost of electricity, cost of fuel, everything, feed is for earning of 12,000, 10,000 rupees per day, per month. This scalability is not, I don't think this scalability for getting the income generation, it will not suffice, because labor cost, it will not come. So you think about alternate model through FPO.
I understand, sir, but one question, that is why not? Because that model, the high yielding, that is getting 150 booty weight by 1 kg in 92 days. The main problem is that in the market, if we calculate the market, out of 100 birds, you will get 90 broiler birds, 10 is that is color bird. Out of 10 color bird, 7 is the local bird, that is indigenous, 3 is that is highly modified like RIR, Karaknath, Banraja, whatever may be. Sonal is the data. Main thing is that my experience is that I started in 2002 with more than 3 lakhs of that is broiler Sonali. But marketing is a problem. And second problem is that what I achieve, sir, क्या होता है बाजार में अंडा खरीदने जाते हैं आदमी के अभी भी है वी प्रिफर दो ही से लोकल अंडा नहीं तो कमर्शियल अंडा इवन BBA 380 has not claimed yet in the overall market, though इंडिया में सर मोटा मोटी 65 से 70 लाख मंथली प्लेसमेंट है BBA 380 का. तो this is challenge, one kind of challenge. Your suggestion is highly appreciated, but thing is that somehow this in this model somehow we have to protect the core indigenous जो गांव से जो दुष्प्राप्त होता है जो खत्म होने जा रहा है जो ब्रीड नहीं मिल रहा है how that can be shaped and उसी को how give providing little bit help like vaccination proper vaccination रानी खेत हो IBD हो आपका फॉल पॉक्स 80 days में repeat लोसोटा करके how it can be minimized.
Thank you, Dr. Pankaj. I'm sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
Basically, Charanjit sir has to leave
okay.
for an already scheduled meeting. So I would just like quickly request Bharat to pass on the booklets for the model release, and then I would request her for the keynote address. So may I request on dais Shri S.K. Datta ji, Shri Charanjit Singh ji, Dr. Neeraj Gupta sir, Dipanvita ji, Surimani Raul ji, Surita ma'am, Surita Santosh ma'am, and Neena Joshi ji, and Reena Soni. May I request we quickly please release the booklet?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Now I would request Charanjit sir for the keynote address on diversification of rural livelihoods, opportunities in livestock sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much and very warm good morning and नमस्कार सभी को. I'm sorry कि मेरे को एक दूसरी मीटिंग भी है. I have to reach there also, so that's why I have to rush your program. तो सबसे पहले तो मैं हाइपर इंटरनेशनल ट्रिप और सभी को कहते कि यहाँ जो आज के तो उपस्थित हुए हैं, चाहे हमारे गांव से दीदियाँ आई हों या दूसरे जो भी इसमें चाहे कहते एनिमल हस्बेंड्री डिपार्टमेंट्स हों, सभी संस्थाएं जो हमारे साथ सहयोग कर रही हैं, ए वेरी बिग थैंक यू टू एवरीबॉडी. ये मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत ही बड़ा काम है जो कि हम करने जा रहे हैं. मैं क्यों कह रहा हूँ, मैं कैसे कि अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस आपको बता सकता हूँ. जब मैंने कहते कि नौकरी स्टार्ट करी थी, बैतूल एक जगह है मध्य प्रदेश में, तो वहाँ मैं कहते कि वहाँ से नौकरी स्टार्ट किया. तो वहाँ मेरे को कहते कि प्रधान का केसला में एक बहुत बड़ा संस्था है जहाँ की ये लोग काम करते हैं, तो वो भी देख के आया. तो मेरे को शुरू से शौक रहा है कि इनोवेशन करना चाहिए लगातार, कैसे हम लोगों का कहते कि सहायता कर सकते हैं. तो हमने सबसे पहले एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देखा ये जो बॉयलर वाला, लेकिन उसमें बड़ा दिक्कत है. आपको इतना कुछ अरेंज करना पड़ता है, पूरा स्ट्रक्चर खड़ी करी जाए, उसका पानी के लिए चाहिए, फीडर के लिए चाहिए, लाइट्स लगवाना है, फिर उसका टेम्परेचर कंट्रोल करना होगा. तो मतलब गर्मी में हमारे बहुत से जानवर कहते कि मर गए. और मैंने कहा ये तो बड़ी समस्या है, ये तो जो है इट्स नॉट ए सक्सेसफुल मॉडल. ये जो हमारे गांव वाले करते आ रहे हैं जो कि अपने बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री. सो देन आई केम टू नो दैट दिस बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री इज अ वेरी गुड इनिशिएटिव विच शुड बी सपोर्टेड. तब मैंने इसमें भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करके देखा. एक्सपेरिमेंट तो मैं लगातार करता रहा हूँ. तो लेकिन वहाँ भी समस्याएं हैं, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि वहाँ समस्याएं नहीं है. वहाँ मेरे को समझ में आया कि एक तो क्या है कि वो गांव वाले हमारे ना तो उसका वैक्सीनेशन करवाते हैं, ऐसे ही छोड़ देते हैं, जहाँ उसने खा लिया जितना खा लिया ठीक है. और तो उसमें भी समस्या, उसमें भी बहुत सी कैजुअलिटी हुई ना. वो कहते हैं इंश्योरेंस करवाते हैं. तो जैसे ही आज मैं कहते मॉर्निंग में गजानन के साथ बात कर रहा था, मैं कहा ये सारी समस्याएं इन्होंने जो है ना ये सारे मॉडल में एड्रेस कर दी हैं. सो दीज थिंग्स आर वेरी एसेंशियल कि उसका इंश्योरेंस भी करवाया जाए, उसका प्रॉपरली कहते हैं कि देख रेख भी किया जाए, उसको फीड भी कहते हैं कि सही दिया जाए. तो ये सारे कंपोनेंट जो हैं, जब तक ये आप कहते हैं एड्रेस नहीं करेंगे तो आप सक्सेसफुली उससे रिटर्न नहीं पा सकते. और मैं जहाँ खड़ा हूँ, मतलब आदमी जहाँ भी होता है जिस पोजीशन से, वहीं से वेंटेज पोजीशन से चीज़ों को देखता है. तो मैं अपना कहते कि डे NRLM स्कीम को डील कर रहा हूँ. तो हमारा तो एक बहुत बड़ा कहते कि वृहद कार्यक्रम है ये. जैसे आप जानते हैं कि 10 करोड़ से ज़्यादा हमारे घर जुड़े हुए हैं. और मैं एक डाटा देख रहा था, लगभग 1.5 करोड़ के हमारी महिलाएँ जो हैं किसी न किसी तरह से कुछ ना कुछ लाइव स्टॉक में, पोल्ट्री में, गॉटरी में, डकरी में कुछ ना कुछ वो काम कहते कि कर रही हैं. तो हमारे लिए तो ये एक मतलब अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है. और एक हमने क्या है कि कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स पर्सन हम लोगों ने तैयार किए हुए हैं. दोज आर द वुमेन हु हैव बीन सिलेक्टेड फ्रॉम द कम्युनिटी इटसेल्फ एंड ट्रेन्ड इनटू वेरियस एस्पेक्ट. किसी को कृषि सखी बना दिया, बैंक सखी बना दिया, तो पशु सखी भी हमारे पास लगभग 1.3 लाख. तो मुझे लगा ये जो है ना दे कैन प्ले ए वेरी क्रिटिकल रोल इन दिस बिकॉज दे आर ऑलरेडी वर्किंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. तो अभी बल्कि मैं बाहर बात भी कर रहा था, अगर हम नॉलेज डिसमिनेशन पे वर्क करें तो मेरे को लगता है एक बहुत बड़ा हम कहते हैं कि डिफरेंस सोसाइटी में ला सकते हैं. तो आई थिंक वी शुड वर्क मोर ऑन दिस. तो जैसे आज आपने ये बुकलेट जारी करी, ऐसी बुकलेट्स की अपने को बहुत ज़्यादा आवश्यकता है। और बल्कि ये तो इंग्लिश में, मैं तो चाहूँगा रीजनल लैंग्वेज में भी अगर हम दे सकें, हिंदी में, कन्नड़ा में, मलयालम में, जो भी लैंग्वेज है, क्योंकि वो हमारे गांव वालों को ज़्यादा कहते हैं कि फ़ायदेमंद रहेंगी। तो मेरी आपसे यही रिक्वेस्ट है कि दिस शुड बी ट्रांसलेटेड इनटू द रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस आल्सो एंड देन गिवन टू द पीपल। और क्या है कि आजकल लोग जो है ना मोबाइल बहुत देखते हैं, ज़्यादातर लोग तो मोबाइल के बगैर रह ही नहीं सकते। और उसमें भी क्या है कि आजकल तो रील का कंसेप्ट है, 2 से ढाई मिनट से ज़्यादा वो किसी के पास अटेंशन स्पैन ही नहीं है। तो 2-2.5 मिनट में ही आपको जो बात कहनी है अपने को उसी में कहना है, नहीं लोग आपकी सुनने वाले नहीं हैं। तो क्यों ना हम छोटी छोटी ऐसे कहते हैं कि वीडियो बनाएं कि 2-2.5 मिनट में आप अपनी बात कहते हैं। डिटेल में जाना हो उसमें लास्ट में छोड़ सकते हैं, यू कैन गो टू दिस वेबसाइट और दिस डिटेल्स। तो मेरा आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन दिस एस्पेक्ट आल्सो, क्योंकि जैसे जैसे टाइम्स चेंज हो रहे हैं वी नीड टू मूव अहेड विद द टाइम्स ओनली। सो लेट्स मेक सम रील। और मैंने देखा हमारे गाँव वाले बड़ी अच्छी रील्स बनाते हैं और कई मेरे को देखने का मौका भी मिला, हमारे बिल्कुल ही जिनको कुछ भी आइडिया नहीं है बट दे मेक सो ब्यूटीफुल रील्स कि कैसे कहते काम किया जा सकता है। तो अगर हम इनकी कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स पर्सन और गांव वालों का फ़ायदा लें तो मेरे ख्याल से छोटी छोटी रील बना के लोगों को दिखाएंगे, मैं 100% श्योर हूँ द पीपल वुड लव इट एंड दे विल बी एनकरेज टू वर्क मोर इन दिस डायरेक्शन। तो एक मेरा आप लोगों से ये रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि हम इसको करें। और तीसरा मेरा रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि मैं जो भी अपने मतलब एक्सपीरियंस से बताता हूँ, मैं थ्योरेटिकल कुछ नहीं कह रहा। मेरे को कहते हैं डिंडोरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाने का मौका मिला, इट्स अ वेरी रिमोट एरिया। तो वहाँ मैंने देखा कम्युनिटी रेडियो, वहाँ लोग अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेज में सुनते हैं। तो मुझे बड़ा आश्चर्य हुआ, मतलब अगर हम ये कम्युनिटी रेडियो, मैं तो सोच ही नहीं सकता था कि इसका इतना ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट है। सो वाई डोंट वी यूटिलाइज दिस कम्युनिटी रेडियोज आल्सो। अगर लोकल वो लैंग्वेज में गांव वाले अपनी ही बात करेंगे, आई एम 100% श्योर आपका कहते हैं कि मैसेजिंग जो है और कहते हैं कि जबरदस्त ढंग से की जा सकेगी। तो हमें इसके ऊपर भी मैं चाहूँगा कि वर्क करने की ज़रूरत है। तो मैं आपका ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा, मैं यही चाहूँगा कि वी शुड वर्क टुगेदर। और ये भी मेरा मानना है क्योंकि ये गवर्नमेंट के अकेले की बस की बात नहीं है। 10 करोड़ और पूरा देश जहाँ 34 स्टेट और डिफरेंट वैरायटी है, वी नीड द पीपल एंड पार्टनर्स हु कैन वर्क विद अस। So we need to work together and we need to find various models. और convergence तो हमारा animal husbandry department के साथ सबसे जबरदस्त है। So I'm quite happy. Yesterday also I got one WhatsApp message कि केरला गवर्नमेंट ने एक सर्कुलर जारी किया, मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि उन्होंने हर चीज़ का रेट भी फिक्स कर दिया है कि अब कहते हैं कि अगर पोल्ट्री का वैक्सीनेशन कराएंगे तो इतना हमारे कहते हैं कि CRP को मिलेगा, पता नहीं 5 या कुछ 10 रुपए ऐसे कुछ है। और अगर कहते हैं उसका नहीं एन्यूमरेशन कराएंगे तो इतना मिले, हर पूरा उन्होंने डिटेल एक circular has been issued. So these types of convergence and working together and collaboration, I think we can upscale the program across the country and make it a grand success. So I wish all the best. I have to leave because I have to attend one more meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And now I would request Dr. Neeraj Gupta, who is CEO of UP Livestock Development Board, to come and share the state perspective. Uttar Pradesh is one of the states where this model would be expanded from Odisha, and so it would be great to have his perspective.
Thank you and welcome all, respected dignitaries, partner agencies from TRIF, feed, these all farmers जो बहुत दूर दराज से आए हैं different states से, इन्हीं के ऊपर सारे discussion है। यूपी perspective की अगर मैं बात करूँ, उत्तर प्रदेश सभी को मालूम है, it's one of the most populous state in country, having a very vast potential. अगर आज के perspective में मैं देखता हूँ तो यूपी has a major gap as far as like either eggs are concerned. मतलब हम लोगों का अगर population की बात करें पोल्ट्री का तो it is something around 2.2 crore in our state. हमारे जो production है it's around 1.6 crore, whereby our requirement is as high as 3.4 crore eggs per day. So not we are even not meeting the 50% mark. So this is the gap which we are seeing in the state. State government is doing a lot. मतलब कई हम लोगों ने initiatives लिए हैं, हम लोग पॉलिसीज लेकर आए हैं, बट दैट पॉलिसी इज लार्जली फोकस्ड ऑन अ कॉमर्शियल साइड. मतलब जो हमें लगा it is on 10,000, 30,000, 60,000 mark. बट ये जो अभी आज का डिस्कशन है जो बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री पर है, इस पर भी स्टेट काफी फोकस कर रहा है. और अभी इस स्कीम के तहत हम लोगों ने एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम लोग 200 यूनिट हम लोग दे रहे हैं, और लगभग 16,000 जैसे फार्मर्स हैं जहां पर हम लोग ये 50 चिक्स का यूनिट दे रहे हैं. बट मैं अभी देख रहा था कि इसकी जो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी निकल कर आएगी व्हेन द नंबर्स विल बी इंक्रीज्ड. तो वो चीज हम लोग अभी उसको हम लोग करेंगे, आगे जाके कोर्स करेक्शन करेंगे. बट दैट सिंगल यूनिट इज ऑफ 3,000 rupees, and we are providing 200 units in every district, but still it is a small, we will go with we have to double it. और जैसा कि सभी हम देख रहे हैं कि मतलब जो आजकल का पर्सपेक्टिव है, वेयर देसी फैक्टर इज कमिंग बूमिंग, तो दिस देसी बर्ड इज ऑल्सो वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड. रीजन बीइंग डिमांड इज ऑलरेडी देयर. मतलब हम तो देखते हैं यूपी, अभी मैडम भी बात कर रहे थे कि यूपी हैज अ पिक्चर कि नहीं यहाँ पे तो सब कुछ ही वेजिटेरियन है, बट एग इज नॉट लाइक मतलब it is an only that apparently which seems to be there is lot of scope in the market in UP. और जो भी पार्टनर एजेंसीज हैं, मतलब आई रिक्वेस्ट हीफर इंटरनेशनल है एंड ऑल, दैट the governance is very positive nowadays, and they seriously want, and the advantage with this scheme is really कि एक तो ये नेचुरल कंडीशंस में हम लोग चाहे जो सब्सिडरी से लेके हम लोग जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, नेचुरल ग्रोथ की बात कर रहे हैं, अभी जो आगे जाके हम लोग जो वन हेल्थ पर्सपेक्टिव में जो हम लोग बात करते हैं, तो इट इज बीइंग नेचुरली रियर्ड अप, तो वो वाले फैक्टर्स भी ये दैट कैन बी टेकन केयर ऑफ ऑल्सो. देयर विल नॉट बी एनी एक्सेसिव दैट medicine feeding or through anything feeding and all. So this is the best thing, where why not only the income, the part of the farmers, overall livelihood security, nutritional security, health, nutrition, protein, this is a total bucket. And what I can say here is like UP is moving very fast, and at the same time the demand like per capita भी अगर हम बात करते हैं, अवेलेबिलिटी की भी बात करते हैं, if I see the country as a whole, तो वहां पर अगर 100 अंडे अवेलेबल हैं तो मेरे यूपी में केवल 20 अंडे अवेलेबल है. दिस इज द गैप. सो we seriously want that people should come, and they UP is welcoming you all, and farmers are also very, and UP always I used to say कि UP के अंदर जो natural resources हैं, because I have worked in multiple states, so I can see the natural richness of the UP is nowhere in any of the part of the country. But yes, there is a blockage from the cultural and that side of view. But this group model, because I worked in the Amul sector, I have worked with Dairy Development Board, I worked with the corporate sector, definitely in going forward, I wish that model should be developed in such a strong fashion that it will transform into a sort of, I cannot say Amul because it is being branded with the milk, but yes, this FPO model should work. And the tier should be very like basically like village level, then district level, then federation level. This 3 tier will work. And what I was listening कि ये जो 3 हमारे जो पैरामीटर हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, ब्रीडिंग, ब्रूडिंग एंड फैटनिंग की, दिस ब्रीडिंग एंड ब्रूडिंग हैज अ मेजर रेम्यूनरेशन, जो अभी मॉडल भी यहाँ पे प्रेजेंट किया गया, जहाँ पे 26,000 से लेके 1.5 लाख तक की इनकम बताएगी. आई थिंक दैट स्केलेबिलिटी एंड ऑल के लिए, that selection of the farmer, the selection of the area, and then input feeding, because largely the जो cost part है, जो हम लोग 3,000 rupees पर जो unit दे रहे हैं, उसमें भी 37 rupees we are giving for chicks, and rest of the part is the overhead cost. तो वो जो part है हमारा overhead costing का, उसको भी हमें ऑर्गेनाइज करने का जरूरत है. नॉट ओनली दैट चिक वाला जो लाइन है, बट जो इनपुट वाला जो कॉस्ट है, उसको भी बेटर इफ वी विल कीप दैट इन कंट्रोल, बिकॉज व्हाट आई हैव सीन इन अदर ऑफ द एनिमल हस्बेंड्री सेगमेंट्स, दैट later on when the scale goes high, the overhead cost is going to be there. So we need to control and standardize that overhead cost, so that ultimately अगर उसको जो net profit है, we are able to prevent that net profit, and then farmer is able to earn that. And at the same time, that consumer is waiting for the health only. And with these words, I will wind up my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj, for sharing perspectives from UP and also emphasizing over the need for a strong model which could be scalable. Now I invite Mr. S.K. Datta, who is in charge National Livelihood Mission in Government of India, and he will be speaking on integrating self-help group women in National Livelihood Mission scope and plans. So it's printed something else, so please consider what I just
Livelihood mission is not
This is
livelihood
small
mission.
correction, livestock mission.
Livestock.
Sorry.
Livelihood mission challenges. Thank you very much, respected all. And actually, my secretary was to be here, but she told me to attend this meeting. Rural backyard poultry model, now really I am seeing the generation gap. Why I am telling, I am saying I will tell. Because I started my career from a small village in West Bengal as a veterinary surgeon. And I worked there for 15 years in the village conditions, and I used to stay there itself where there is no electricity and all. So from there I started working with this backyard poultry. And this backyard poultry, it is not a new concept. All these models we have all tried. So now then I came to Government of India, and I was handling this Joint Commissioner Poultry charge since 2018. And thereafter, before that, we have dealt with this, so many of these issues related to poultry and all. Now, scenario is that in our country, presently we are producing 140 billion eggs. Out of that, this 80% eggs are produced by the commercial trade sectors, and it is growing up at the 10%, 8 to 10%. But this rural backyard sector, it is growing, it is contributing 19 to 20% hardly, this production, the entire scenario of the production of the eggs. And this really, this science, this poultry science, the pace it is going up, this in village farmers, what we thought of that, before this present realigned livestock mission, National Livestock Mission is now really, it is a great scheme we have developed. This scheme was thought up by, I was part and parcel of the developing of this scheme with some few people, with some of my technical officers there. So now this scheme has taken up so high that recently the government has within 2 years 200 crores plus subsidy we have released. But our entire target on this poultry sector is this only this poultry scheme we have included. Why we have included at this model of the poultry, that what you are seeing in the livestock mission is that, first thing is that in rural poultry we felt that it is entire sector was unorganized sector, and government used to implement the scheme for as a poverty model. We have a scheme, this 50 bahts, 45 plus 50 bahts. And उसके बाद क्या होता था, गवर्नमेंट को we used to release fund to the government, and गवर्नमेंट किसको देता था, उसके बाद किसको बांट जाता था, कौन खा लिया, कौन क्या कर लिया, फील्ड में nothing was available. Then it came up with one program, that is IPPP, Integrated Poultry Productivity Model, that we started giving 200 bahts. That's what model we used to provide 200 bahts, and we used to release the fund, and is a two model. One is this low input technology, another is the broiler model. So both this model was it was well taken by the state, and fund were moved to the state governments, to the beneficiaries, and after one cycle there is no fund. That's gone, all this fund, because broiler, I don't support broiler modeling, because you see broiler modeling, meat purpose modeling in such a model that you cannot make the farmer sustainable, because this recurring cost, this recurring replacement of the bird will not happen. This all the birds will be sent all out on all in system. So then we decided to bring this egg model. So when we decided to bring this egg model, we faced the challenges regarding the availability of the inputs, genetics, birds, from where it will be available. Because presently, what is happening in every state government, whatever poultry farms are there, very few, one or two state governments, they are having their own poultry farms, and they are supplying chicks from their bird farm to the farmers. So the question of these inputs is not there. So therefore, we decided the way this commercial sector has developed, we wanted to promote some of the entrepreneurs in the private sector that can compete with the commercial sector to provide inputs to the farmers. So our model, what we are implementing, that is basically a hub and spoke model. That hub and spoke model, what we are having, this parent farm, hatchery systems and brooder mother unit, and these individuals, farmer producer organizations, self-help group, joint liability group, section 8 companies, farmer cooperative organizations, everybody is eligible. But unfortunately, we are providing subsidies, 50% subsidies up to 25 lakhs, and rest of the remaining portion of the finance is coming from the bank. And that too, that finance can be availed under the Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, for which we are providing 3% interest subvention. So if you see, this one beneficiary can take straight away 25 lakhs rupees subsidy from here, and 25 lakhs rupees if he or she can take loan from the bank. On that, they will be, he or she or organization will get the 3% interest subvention over a period of 8 years. Now, question of this 200 baht model or 1000 baht model, the number is not a issue. So this entire NLM scheme, that it cannot be revised in mid-term, because we have very recently we have revised. It will be implemented till 25-26. After 25-26, it can be again we will go for the revision. So this model, somehow, if you are working with the self-help group, because we are now interacting with the Poshu Sakhi, with this NRLM team, it's a very good response we are getting. So SIG group, for FPO group, they can be involved, because very few takers on the poultry side. I have seen this NLM, maximum is the sheep and goat projects has come. So SIG group and JLG group, they can be encouraged to take funding under National Livestock Mission along with the AHIDF. Because thing is that bank will be happy to fund, because they will be getting this 50% subsidy and 20. The program will, and more farmers can be, more women entrepreneurs can be tagged in this model. So they can be, this kind of model is required, because really the way we are facing the bird flu incidences, so this kind of model is required, because we need to segregate the birds from the migratory birds. So that will be helpful. And these farmers and who are the entrepreneurs, they can be organized in this. Another issue is coming in this marketing of this. For marketing purpose, I am telling that nowadays this question, the demand for the cage-free egg is coming. That is from the European Union. And in our big commercial farmers, commercial companies, they are also coming with the cage-free model. Now they are establishing this that one environmentally controlled farming and this cage-free farming. And very recently, we are contemplating to fund this ICR to develop a commercial model of cage-free farming, that to the aviary system and all this system. And one animal welfare group is also providing fund to Tamil Nadu for developing the cage-free commercialized model. In our country, there are 3-4 companies who are working in this model. They are collecting eggs from the farmers and they are providing all inputs to the farmers, and they are buying back all these eggs, and they are marketing at the rate of 15 rupees, 20 rupees. It's not the, I'm not telling about the cakes and all. There are others, Happy Hens model is there, another is Egos model is there. These models they are sending, and government is also ready to provide this production link incentives. So there, this model we have introduced in the PLI scheme. So they are collecting and they are paying at that point of time. It is working in Maharashtra. They are paying rupees 8 per egg, and they are procuring from them, and they are selling at the rupees of 15. So cage-free egg, it is not a backyard egg. Their demand is cage-free egg, not the backyard egg. Backyard is our thinking that backyard means it's very tasty. But backyard egg, the problem is that if you not segregate the table egg and hatching egg, if hatching egg is go on the market, and if it is found that there is an embryo in your dish, that at the time of preparation of the egg, that will create a big problem. That's a very problematic. Because earlier also these farmers were selling whatever it is collected from the hen, and they are used to sell in the market. So something modification, and we need to educate these entrepreneurs how to segregate this this hatching eggs and table egg purpose. Now coming to this meat purpose, this fattening, it may happen those who want to sell these, use the meat purpose bird, so they can do it. But meat purpose birds, again, this palatability and this cooking method, and that needs to be, that is a issue that can be dealt in separate way. It's a, again, it's a very good model. So far as we used to segregate our birds and rearing the birds in a very healthy manner. So issue is there because a lot of health issues are there, salmonellosis, and though this many diseases, viral diseases, bacterial diseases, so many diseases are there. So this entrepreneur that needs to be trained. So our scheme, that is National Livestock Mission, they can be chipped in. And very recently, I am very happy to say that Tribal Affairs Ministry, very recently they have one scheme has been approved, that is Janjati Unnat Janjati Yojana. So we are also the partner on that scheme. So we are thinking about this 200 bird models for the tribals. And government is will provide 90% of subsidy on that. 10% has to be provided by the beneficiary, and 90% subsidy, very recently that will be coming up. So I am working on this development of this, how this can be, this NLM will provide the 75 crore rupees for entire 5 years period. Let me see how this program can be implemented. So far as this feeding, Ajola feed is there, say again that all such a program was there in the earlier NLM scheme. But those who are implemented through state governments and program didn't take place. So now the government has changed everything, and very focused program we are implementing, very focused. Say entrepreneurship and genetic upgradation, because we require to develop a model which can produce the scale of the supply inputs, supply materials, raw materials, as well as to increase the per animal productivity, because per animal productivity is also going down because of so many of inbreeding and indigenizations. And you see that in case of this our dairy sector, this we are also implementing conservation of the indigenous cattle breeds. But issue is that this productivity has gone down, and we are thinking about this high yielding, high genetic materials from abroad or indigenous breeds. But you can say, for example, in ghee, in Indian ghee, they are producing on an average 10 to 12, 15 kg milk. But in Brazil, they have through selection process they have upgraded ghee, and they are producing this 40 to 50 liters milk. So India is thinking that that can be imported, and we can establish a nucleus breeding farm. So this genetics is a big issue. But 50x, 20x, you think about this bird, we should conserve our indigenous bird, because these are all disease resistant and all these things. But at the same time, their production needs to be increased. So we will think about this model, how this indigenous, we are not thinking about this poultry, because we really require number of more eggs. Now we have reached up to 96 eggs. And we have to go up to 180 eggs, but we need to double the production what we are producing. We are now second in our egg production, and we need just double what we are producing. So that's why, and thankfully this indigenous bird, this backyard poultry population has increased. It is 45% increased because of various interventions. 45% backyard population has increased. So it is not that this backyard poultry is not growing, it is also growing in side by side. But due to the less production, less number of egg it is produced, it is not coming to the contributing more than 20% in the total egg production system. So this is little bit of my thinking and whatever policy intervention is there. So thank you very much for calling me. Thank you.
I think we had to cut short the session where we were discussing the technical inputs. We have 10 minutes to discuss. There are a lot of experts here. There are a lot of not-for-profit organizations who are working in the space. It would be great to have their inputs as well as queries. Dr. Pankaj and Akshay, they are seated, and everybody can just be on their seats, and probably anybody wants to share any inputs or any questions they have, we can take it up for 10 minutes, and then we can start our panel discussion.
I just want to make one point, and दादाजी आप मतलब हम एक बात कर रहे हैं where we are looking at कि कैसे हम ये egg production बढ़ाएं, ये तो हमारे इस मॉडल के अंदर जो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, एक हम बात करते हैं कि how do we do mass production, that what we are looking at. But in this model we are approaching mass production, but we are approaching it by production by masses. That's the little difference, and I would really like to draw your attention to that part, because that's the USP of our model. And हमने भी जब जैसे आपने बताया कि हम भी इसमें स्टक हो गए कि ये कभी मैथ्स ठीक ही नहीं हो सकती, और उस टाइम हमने भी ये जब बहुत सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट करे, बट फिर जब हमने बैठ के कलेक्टिवाइज करा और जब हम इसको एग्रीगेट कर पाए फार्मर प्रोड्यूसिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे और सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप में, तो जो आप बात कर रहे हो हम वो 150 एक्स पे पहुंचते हैं, बट ऐसे को मिला के पहुंचते हैं. तो इससे क्या हो रहा है कि हम पूरा इकोसिस्टम अप्रोच ले पा रहे हैं. सो आई वुड रियली रिक्वेस्ट यू टू थिंक अबाउट इट, लाइक इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट मास प्रोडक्शन बाय मासेस इज व्हाट दिस मॉडल इज डूइंग. एंड कई बार जैसे कोई दीदी भी अगर बोलना चाहेगी, तो अगर आप सरको के सामने कुछ कि कौन से वाला आपका चिकन अच्छा होता है, या बिकॉज आई थिंक इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट आप इनसे भी सुने. सो एनीबॉडी वुड लाइक टू शेयर?
I would also like to share something to sir. This मेरा submission actually ये है कि बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री स्पेसिफिकली जो इंडिजिनस या देसी बर्ड्स की हम लोग बात की है, एंड देर आर डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स, क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स जहाँ पे हम लोग इंटरवेन कर रहे हैं या करेंगे. जैसे आपने मेंशन किया, देयर आर मेनी एग्जांपल्स ऑफ BYP. इन उड़ीसा में भी बनराजा शुरू किया था, यूपी में भी आपका रसरी, देन आंध्र प्रदेश रसरी, कड़कनाथ, इस मेनी प्लेसेस. तो जो भी आपका गवर्नमेंट या जो भी, आई एम नॉट कंप्लेनिंग और आई एम नॉट सेइंग एनीथिंग अगेंस्ट गवर्नमेंट, बट जो देने के बाद जो डिफरेंट सपोर्ट, जैसे हम लोग ट्राई किया है कि वी वुड बी सपोर्टिंग इन ब्रूडिंग यूनिट. जो क्रिटिकल पीरियड जो है 1 मंथ एज में हाइस्ट मोर्टेलिटी होता है, that would be our one critical component. Then another important factor in this model is, जैसे मान लीजिए आपका fattening में we have reduced the cycle, life cycle. I am taking your example also. जैसे ब्रॉयलर में वो क्या होता है ना, 1 महीना है, they get quick return, and the villagers, especially the poor people, they want assured income. So to get the assured income, हमें लगता है कि we have reduced the cycle of this fattening bird to 4.5 or something like that. And if you include the period of brooding unit, so 1 month plus 4.5, 4.5 and 5 total 5.5, that is almost 5 to 6 months. So that would help the poor farmers to get return in quick. मतलब 6-7 months में they will get some money back and they will start again. अब this will all out, all in. That is, everything has a different perspective. How do you see things? मतलब पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव दोनों में, बट हम ये देख रहे हैं कि दैट वुड बी ए गुड मॉडल. Then another thing is in Orissa, there is a deficit in egg production, and we are also thinking of इसमें रिटर्न आने के बाद then we will go for egg production in large scale, क्योंकि वहाँ डिमांड है उड़ीसा में भी या बाकी स्टेट में भी, rather than meat, क्योंकि meat is supplied by broiler. तो वो कंपोनेंट हम देख रहे हैं, इंक्लूडिंग दैट प्रिजर्वेशन, कंजर्वेशन, एवरीथिंग. जैसे आपने मेंशन किया है डेयरी में भी, डेयरी, गोट्स, इन एवरीथिंग. ब्राज़ील टुक आवर ब्रीड, जैसे आपका नेलोर भी सुने होंगे, या हमारा भी जो आपका ये जमुनापारी भी है. तो देयर आर हिस्ट्री बिहाइंड दैट. even the backyard poultry and also the goats, different programs of government at different period of time, why did they took this and then drop. तो हिस्ट्री है. तो हमें लगा कि बिकॉज ऑफ हम भी या बहुत सारे लोग जो ईयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस है स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम विलेज टू दिस लेवल, तो हमें लगता है कि somebody has to pay some attention to this देसी bird because these are elite birds and there are very advantages of different advantages. You can compete gradually, and many people argue that this egg production can go from 60, 70 to even more than 100, 120. There are many people that exist in different places. So actually we have those sort of argument, debate and logic, and how do you see this? आप भी बोले ना 45% is market share increased देसी बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री. तो हमें भी वो लगता है कि एक टाइम आएगा रिवर्स हो भी सकता है. People will not prefer broiler, then they will come for desi or indigenous bird.
Thank you.
So many thank you.
Thank you. Someone from the community just wanted to speak, and then probably.
सर मैं कुछ बोलना चाहती हूँ. हमारे यहाँ अभी देसी बर्ड्स का बहुत डिमांड है. लोग आजकल ब्रॉयलर और जो बनराज होते हैं वो खाना बंद कर दिए. तो देसी चिक्स में हम लोग बहुत बेनिफिट मिल रहा है. तो हम लोग जो कर रहे हैं, मैं केव हूँ, कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स एग्रोवेट एंटरप्रेन्योर. तो मेरा काम है उड़ीसा. मेरा काम है मैं गांव में जाकर घर घर जाकर घूम कर लोगों को उनका कितना बर्ड्स है वो कैलकुलेट करती हूँ और वैक्सीनेशन के बारे में बोलती हूँ और खुद देती भी हूँ वैक्सीन. तो पहले लोग खुला छोड़ देते थे मुर्गी को, लेकिन जब से मैं ट्रेनिंग लेके आई हूँ तो मैंने गांव में भी ट्रेनिंग दिया है. ट्रेनिंग देने के बाद लोग पॉजिटिवली एक्सेप्ट किए हैं. लोगों ने देसी मुर्गे को पहले तो बाहर छोड़ देते थे खुले में, अभी सेपरेट उनके लिए घर बनाया है, जैसे ये मॉडल है, और उसी के अंदर रखते हैं. और पहले खाना नीचे डाल देते थे, चावल वगैरह सिर्फ वही देते थे. अब प्रोटीन हर टाइप का खाना देते हैं, चावल, धान और एजोला और दीमक सब देते हैं खाने के लिए. तो उसका इस्तेमाल करने के बाद वो चिक्स का ग्रोथ भी बहुत जल्दी हो जाता है, और ग्रोथ जल्दी होने की वजह से जल्दी जल्दी बेचते हैं, और खाने में भी वो बहुत अच्छा है. और
और अंडे भी बढ़ते हैं?
हाँ, अंडे भी ज़्यादा देते हैं। एजोला देने से, एजोला और दीमक देने से क्वांटिटी उनका, अंडे देने का क्वांटिटी ज़्यादा हो जाता है।
थैंक यू दीदी। राजेश।
सर, अभी जैसा हम चर्चा कर रहे थे और हमारे कुछ वेटरनरीज ने इस पर चर्चा किया कि इसका वायबिलिटी मॉडल क्या है। मैं सर इस पर कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ, मेरा अपना सबमिशन है। तो मैम ने भी बताया कि प्रोडक्शन बाय मासेस नॉट इन मास हम लोग होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये अपना वेलफेयर स्टेट है। बीइंग ए वेटरनरियन, ये हम लोगों का भी फर्ज बनता है कि प्रिजर्वेशन एंड कंजर्वेशन ऑफ द ब्रीड्स होना चाहिए। मैं ऐसे जगह चाहता हूँ, पूरा ट्राइबल एरिया है झारखंड का, उड़ीसा और वेस्ट बंगाल का बॉर्डर है सर, और वो 100% ट्राइबल बेल्ट है। और वहाँ का जो कल्चर मैंने देखा, और मोस्टली वो रिप्लिकेट होता है ट्राइबल एरिया में भी, कि वो इतना अपने नेटिव बर्ड से या नेटिव जो भी उनका ये है उससे क्लोज होते हैं कि जो भी हम लोग इम्प्लीमेंट, जो आपने सर बताया अभी कि एनएमएल के तहत जो 200 बर्ड्स का 400 बर्ड्स इनफैक्ट लो इनपुट बर्ड्स जो दिया जाता है, वो वन टाइम है उसका, कोई उसके बाद वन टाइम आ जाने के बाद उसको वो इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं, क्योंकि उनको डेविड चिक्स मिलता नहीं है या पुलेट्स मिलता नहीं है। लेकिन सर ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो अपना ये फीड्स है, पासिंग गिफ्ट्स है या टीआरआई है, इन्होंने ये सोचा कि अपना नेटिव बर्ड्स जो हम लोग का हेरिटेज है उसको कैसे हम कंजर्व करें। और ये सब कुछ इकोनॉमिक्स ही नहीं होता, ये इकोनॉमिक्स आएगा सर जैसे जैसे हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे। ये इसका एक तो इन्वायरमेंटली कैसे रिसाइकल हो रहा है, जो इसका मेंजी के माध्यम से अपना जो भी फीड स्टॉक ले रहा है। इसके अलावा एएमआर का इशू जो है, वन हेल्थ के साथ एएमआर का इशू भी यहाँ पर ये डील हो रहा है सर। उसके बाद जो सबसे बड़ा समस्या आपने जैसे बोला कि 2030 तक डब्ल्यूटीओ ने बोला है कि जो केज बर्ड है उनको ये करने के लिए कोर्स गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को फोर्स कर रहा है, और उसमें ह्यूमन इंटरनेशनल या और भी बहुत सारे एनजीओ है जो पड़े हुए, आप खुद सब फेस कर रहे हैं ये केस जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चल रहा है। तो यही एक माध्यम है ये सर अपना जो बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री का ये मॉडल कि हम लोग फ्री रेंज से के माध्यम से ये कह सकते हैं और कुछ पोर्शन ले सकते हैं। अभी फिलहाल 25% जो ये हम लोग का प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है बैकयार्ड से, और इसे हम लोग बढ़ा सकते हैं। जहां तक कि जो ये एक है केज फ्री, ये एफपीओ के माध्यम से लगभग 30 से 40 रुपया हम लोग प्रीमियम अगर मार्केटिंग किया जाए तो मिल सकता है। इवन मैं जमशेदपुर से आता हूँ सर, वहां पर मॉल में अभी वो दूसरे जगह से मंगा रहे हैं और केज फ्री एक बाकायदे रिलायंस मार्ट में 50 रुपया करके मिल रहा है। तो ये एफपीओ मॉडल अगर इसमें आगे बढ़े तो ये सक्सेस बहुत ही अच्छा सक्सेसफुल मॉडल है। और ये मैं जैसे सर ने बोला कि ज्यादा वायबल होगा, आपने भी बोला कि एक भी अगर इसके साथ किया जाए तो एक का। लेकिन सर ये सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इंटीग्रेटर जो है, जो बड़ी बड़ी मछलियां हैं जो छोटे फार्मर को जीने नहीं देते हैं, ये हकीकत में सिंपल वर्ड में ये मॉडल जो है, जो आप बोल सकते हैं कि मासेस बाई प्रोडक्शन होता है, इसको अगर हम लोग एफपीओ के माध्यम से अगर मार्केटिंग करते हैं तो प्रीमियम रेट भी मिलेगा। और ये ब्रॉयलर में चूंकि इस तरीका का मॉडल है नहीं सर, ब्रॉयलर में इंटीग्रेटर इसको आगे नहीं देंगे। अगर एफपीओ के माध्यम से अगर हम लोग देसी बर्ड का अगर मार्केटिंग करते हैं तो मिनिमम सर 3 टाइम्स ब्रॉयलर से ज्यादा रेट मिलेगा। और आप देखेंगे जो आदिवासी कल्चर में खासकर जो है सर, कि आप अगर एज ए गेस्ट के रूप में जाते हैं तो अपने नेटिव बर्ड्स को ही वो आपको ये करते सर्व करते हैं कि ये मतलब खुशी में। और बाकी जो लो इनपुट वर्ड्स को वो लोग कभी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते, मेरा अपना पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस।
थैंक यू राजेश।
मैं जो सोचा कि आपसे ये करूं।
बात एक मैं इंटरवेन करना चाहता हूँ। प्रॉब्लम ये नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम ये है जो कंटिन्यूअस साइक्लिंग कैसे होंगे। अगर आपके पास अगर बाढ़ नहीं है, रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है, तो एक बार करने के बाद तो खाली हो गया ना उसकी फार्म।
नहीं सर, कैन आई कम
रिप्लेसमेंट?
I just want to explain the model once again. You know, there are different units explained here. So the fattening farmers will be, 100 poultry chicks will be coming, and then after a particular time they'll sell entire bird. Whereas There are breeder unit, they'll be, only producing eggs for the hatchery. So they are not losing birds there. After a particular point, they'll be selling and procuring new birds. So that has been taken into account. So that's part of the model. So egg laying will be done by the breeder units. Fattening farmers will only be doing fattening, and their job is only to rear the birds and sell it in the market. Exactly. So after every second month they'll be getting new
आज
batch.
के दिन में जो जैसे बॉर्डर इंटीग्रेशन होती है, कंटिन्यूअस एक फार्म एक महीने के लिए खाली रहता है, 21 डेज के लिए खाली रहता है। अब इसमें आप मान लीजिए 0 डे में एक चिक्स दे दिया आपने, चिक्स उसको मार्केटेबल एज आने के लिए 16 वीक्स टाइम लगता है। जो देसी बार्ड होता है, पर्टिकुलरली देसी बार्ड 7 से 16 सप्ताह के आसपास ही आता है वो। अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा खाना दे देते हो 16 वीक्स के बाद ही वो मार्केट हो सकता है। एक 1200 से 1400 ग्राम वेट होता है। एक फार्मर 200 बार्ड अपने फटनी के लिए पालते हैं, तो जब आ गया 16 सप्ताह उसको रेयर कर लिया तो मार्केट कर दिया। अगेन वो
So they'll be getting chick from the hatchery. Yes.
Let me complete. Yeah. उस फार्मर जो 0 डे में बाढ़ आएगा तो फिर 16 हफ्ते वो बैठे रहेंगे।
नहीं।
ब्रूडिंग यूनिट है ना इसमें?
हाँ, ब्रूडिंग यूनिट पता है, ब्रूडिंग यूनिट पता है।
So there
जो फैटनिंग कर रहे हैं उसके पास तो आप 4 महीने की बाढ़, 4 हफ्ते की बाढ़ देंगे।
सर
कितने हफ्ते की बाढ़ देंगे?
जस्ट आई एम टेलिंग, जो एक 4 वीक्स वाला बर्ड मिला फैटनिंग फार्मर को, दे विल कीप फॉर 130 to 135 डेज इन अ सेट। ठीक है सर। उसके बाद उसका पूरा बर्ड को एफपीओ माध्यम से बिक्री हो जाएगा। 20 दिन का गैप में बाद सी विल ब्रिंग अनदर दैट इज 30 डेज ओल्ड बर्ड ऑफ 100।
फिर
135 दिन रखेंगे, नेक्स्ट बिक्री होगा।
उस जो 4 महीने के जो खर्चा आएगा, हाँ, तो वो कहाँ से वो रिकरिंग कॉस्ट लाएंगे?
सर ये जो टोटल इन ईयर आप अगर कैलकुलेट करेंगे 2.5 बैच होगा एक साल में। और 100 मुर्गी अगर पालेंगे ना सर, ये जैसे होता है जनरली मार्केट में 50 से 55 रुपया प्रॉफिट रहता है एक मुर्गी में। तो 25-26 रुपया उसको एक साल में 100 मुर्गी में 2.5 बैच में आते हैं, नॉट मोर देन दैट। ये जो है ये एक साइकिल है। एक बार 135, सपोज सर आई डू प्लेसमेंट इन सपोज दिस इज द मंथ ऑफ सेप्टेम्बर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, इन जनवरी लास्ट आई विल सेल, फरवरी में 20 दिन के बाद अगेन अनदर लॉट विल कम। दैट इज कॉल्ड लाइक ब्रॉयलर, ऑल इन ऑल आउट। इन ब्रॉयलर में क्या होता है, साल में हम लोग 6 बार 7 बार प्लेसमेंट करते हैं, इसमें ओनली 2.5 टाइम्स।
हाँ, तो वो तो पता है 2.5 टाइम। हाँ,
planning is broiler only. But the issue is government of India, when you are promoting again this non-district birds, as per government of India policy, you have to go for indigenous breeds. If at all you want to conserve and protect the native breeds, better take any indigenous breed of the local area.
Yes, we are doing that.
Yes,
whole
we are
lot
doing
of
that.
indigenous breeds.
Actually,
about that only.
Sir, particularly in Orissa,
indigenous.
Purely like in Orissa, it is purely asil bird.
Asil bird, no?
Yeah.
If you are selling one bird, maybe per kg 400 or 500 rupees,
Yeah.
only some
Yeah.
profit you will see.
Yeah.
If you are selling for 350, I don't think you will get.
कड़कनाथ का इतना क्रेप था लोगों को, इतना क्रेजी हो गए थे लोग कड़कनाथ में। इट वाज सेलिंग एट द रेट ऑफ 700 रुपीज पर बार्ड। अब हमारी उड़ीसा में जाइए, हमारी जो फार्म है वो उसमें कड़कनाथ अभी 2000 बार्ड्स की हमारी पेरेंट लाइन है। अब लेने वाला 200 रुपया में लेने वाले लोग नहीं आते।
Yes, sir, definitely.
मार्केट नहीं है वो कड़कनाथ, हमने प्योर लाइन मेंटेन कर रखा है वहाँ पे।
So that's the problem with Kadaknath and all the color birds.
Hey, what we required,
Right.
all the Kadaknath, what we required, we need a brand development, and brand value can go, it can take this our model, so we need a brand development. For brand development, we can do something, how it can be done, both
ब्रांड डेवलपमेंट करने के लिए आपको उस कैटेगरी उस जगह पे ऐसे प्रोडक्शन लाना पड़ेगा तो वो आपको बोलना पड़ेगा ये डिजीज फ्री है, ये लोगों की घर पे आंगन में होता है, इसके ये ऐसे प्रोसेसिंग किया जाता है, तब जाके आपकी मार्केट देखिए कहाँ पहुँचेंगे। तो दैट विल बी देयर।
That is very much required. I will add to Datta Saab, and I think Dr. Rajesh ji is there. Madam Reena Soni has also said it is both by production by masses as well as mass production. Let's think of on the same line. Not either of.
नहीं तो आलू वाला कहानी हो जाएगा, सब लोग आलू चाष का आलू करेंगे और एक टाइम पे आलू का प्राइस 50 क्रैश कर जाता है, तब तो सब डिजार्टेड हो जाता है, नेक्स्ट ईयर कोई प्रोडक्शन नहीं करता।
For that brand value has to be built up right from this stage. Because ये अभी जो आप 9-10 रुपए का जो बात कर रहे थे, why can't it? अभी जो 50 रुपए का बात कर रहे हैं, let's brand it as a cageless something. Own brand value.
आप देखिए दो तरीके की मार्केट,
ठीक है, यस।
आप देखिए आज के दिन में ना मॉल में जाएंगे, दो तरीके की एक बेचते हैं। एक तो है हमारी वो जो हरियाणा उत्तर प्रदेश की जो एक क्रेट में लाता है, कोई वो नहीं होता है। एक आता है कुछ उसमें फार्म का नाम लिखा रहता है, उसमें अच्छे से पैकिंग होता है, कौन देखने जा रहा है वो कहाँ से लेके आ रहा है, वो लिखते हैं एंटीबायोटिक फ्री और वो प्रीमियम प्राइस में बेचते हैं।
उसमें मैं सर थोड़ा इंटरवीन करूंगा। उसमें हमें फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग वी हैव टू हैव अ ट्रेसेबिलिटी मार्क। वो आपको ट्राइबल तक नहीं ले जाएगा फार्मर, वो कंज्यूमर तभी पे करेगा 50 रुपए जब वो उसको QR कोड फार्मर तक ले जाएगा।
वेरी ट्रू।
सर इसमें
has to be built in one thing. Secondly, इसमें जो important part है, जैसे अभी गिर का एक एग्जांपल आया, मैं आपको जैसे लोकल इंडिजिनस ब्रीड के डेवलपमेंट है, इसको भी हम शुरू से लेके चले। Because why they have developed? Because they have worked on it. मैं जस्ट एक एग्जांपल लूंगा सर, वो जो हम लोग HF एंड और को जो हम इंपोर्ट करके लाए थे जर्मनी से, वो 1500 लीटर का बुल था। वो 15,000 का उन्होंने उसको ब्रांड मतलब बनाया, मतलब दे हैव डेवलप्ड फॉर ओवर 50-70 इयर्स। इट टेक्स ईयर,
इट टेक्स टाइम।
हम लोग स्कैटर्ड वे में ना चले, मतलब दिस इज आवर, मतलब सॉरी टू से इन दिस हाउस बट वी ऑलवेज वी यूज इन अ स्कैटर्ड वे। सो अगर हमने ये ब्रांड पकड़ा है जिसको हम बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री बोल रहे हैं, लेट्स बिल्ड एज ए ब्रांड एंड जो भी लोकल इंडिजिनस ब्रीड्स है हम उसकी बेंचमार्किंग करें एंड सिलेक्शन करें, सिलेक्शन ऑफ फार्मर एज वेल एज सिलेक्शन ऑफ दी जो भी हम
पेरेंटल लाइन जो भी ले रहे हैं आप।
फैकल्टी एक जैसी नहीं होगी, सभी 50 एग्स नहीं देंगी, लेकिन उसमें से भी हम सेलेक्ट करके उसमें आगे बढ़े, बट दैट सिलेक्शन एंड ब्रीडिंग एंड ब्रूडिंग बोथ आर रिक्वायर्ड।
मैं
खत्म हो रहा है ब्लैक बंगाल, प्योर ब्लैक बंगाल खत्म
हो रहा है।
सो हाई टाइम है, आप लोग इस तरह अच्छा मॉडल लेकर के आए हैं कि सर ये हेरिटेज ब्रीड को कम से कम अपना इसका हम लोग प्रिजर्व करें।
हम आइडेंटिफाई करें ना, सारे ब्रीड्स तो हेरिटेज नहीं हो सकते ना, हम आइडेंटिफाई करें। असील जैसे साउथ इंडिया में कावेरी है, बंगाल में हाजरा है, उधर असम में भी और ब्रीड डेवलप किया। और बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री के कल्चर ही है नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एंड ईस्टर्न रीजन, और वहाँ बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री के इतने अच्छे कल्चर है। यहाँ तो मतलब उत्तर प्रदेश वगैरह में मुर्गी का उतना नहीं है। अगर इस मॉडल को आप नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन में ले जा सकते हैं तो इट विल बी वेरी सक्सेसफुल। ऑल द ट्राइबल एरिया, यस।
मैं एक चीज बताना चाहूंगा। एक्चुअली देखिए, बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री फार्मिंग में हमारा एक रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, सोशल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, जो हमारे देश के जार्मप्लाज्म है, वो जार्मप्लाज्म को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए हमें बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री फार्मिंग को तो करना ही पड़ेगा, वेदर इट इज इकोनॉमिकली वायबल और नॉट। मेरे ख्याल से हमारे गवर्नमेंट की एक रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है टू प्रोटेक्ट आवर जार्मप्लाज्म। जैसे आपने बताया, हमें भी पता है, गिर हमारे अपनी गाय थी, वो ब्राजील लेके चले गए, ब्राजील उसको डेवलप करके अभी ऐसे लेवल में चले गए जो हम उससे इंपोर्ट करने की हालत में आ गए हैं अभी, ठीक है ना। तो मेरे ख्याल से ये चीज कभी होने नहीं देना चाहिए। जो हमारे इंडिजिनस ब्रीड है, पोल्ट्री ब्रीड, मैं पोल्ट्री ब्रीड मीन कर रहा हूँ, वो ब्रीड की साथ भी ऐसे हो जाए वो, और उसकी ओरिजिनलिटी विदेश में चला जाए और बाद में वी आर गोइंग टू
नहीं।
या सो आई
अब आप कामना बताएगी जो सीपीडीओ में जो बाढ़ हम मेंटेन करते हैं उसमें जस्ट हमने क्या जीन यूज किया है, जस्ट प्रोडक्टिविटी एनहांस करने के जीन, बाकी तो बैकयार्ड ही उसमें सारी इंडिजिनस बाढ़ है। और वो हमारी कितना अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं बैकयार्ड में जाके। आज रोड आइलैंड रेड, इट इज अ फॉरेन ब्रीड, आप वो बैकयार्ड पे सबसे अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस देते हैं जहाँ पे बहुत यूज कर सकते हैं, मीट भी एग भी, दो एक प्रोडक्शन के बाद मीट के लिए यूज कर दो एंड इट्स गेटिंग ह्यूज मनी। तो हम मेरे कहने का ये मतलब नहीं है, जो इंडिजिनस ब्रीड देसी नहीं होना चाहिए। देसी में मैं बड़ा रिजर्वेशन ये है, नथिंग कैन बी सेड दैट देसी। आप मार्क करो ना कौन सा देसी है। देसी कुत्ता बोलता है इट इज नॉट अ देसी कुत्ता, इट्स अ मोंगरेल डॉग। और काफी सारे ब्रीड है हमारी पास। आप देसी वैसे मत बोलिएगा, कौन सा ब्रीड आपको मेंटेन कर सकते हैं आप उसमें आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए कौन सा एरिया में कौन सा अच्छा ब्रीड है। अगर वो ब्रीड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स नहीं हुआ NBAGR के थ्रू हम करा सकते हैं उसको, तो उसको मेंटेन कीजिए, उस ब्रीड को प्रोडक्टिविटी प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाइए। नहीं तो अदरवाइज एक टाइम पे बोलेंगे यार 50 अंडा साल में देते हैं, रोज मैं उसके पीछे खाना खिलाता हूँ, लेके वैक्सीनेशन कराता हूँ, 50 अंडा एक अंडा बांट देते। कभी लोग इनके जनरेशन ये तो कर रहा है, इनके पास जिनके पास कुछ नहीं था उसके पास 50 रुपए आ रहा है, वो बोलता है मेरे पास 50 रुपए तो आ रहा है। अब जिन्होंने देख लिया इनके पास 50 रुपए आ रहा है, दूसरा बंदा सोचेगा तो मैं 50 से 100 करूंगा, तो कैसे करेंगे उसका भी तो रास्ता उनको बताना चाहिए।
नहीं नहीं ठीक है डॉक्टर।
अच्छा दूसरा बात ये है, आप एक ब्लैक बंगाल गोट की बात कर रहे हो। मैंने आई डिड माई सीमेन स्टेशन में आई ट्राई टू प्रोड्यूस ब्लैक बंगाल फ्रोजन सीमेन इन स्टेट, है नहीं। क्योंकि क्या हुआ, पब्लिक ने खुद क्या कर दिया, यहाँ से जब जमुनापाड़ी वगैरह गए उनका देखा बहुत बड़ा है, ब्रीड करा लिया, क्योंकि उसको प्राइस चाहिए, उसको कैस्ट्रेटेड करते हैं, हाई ग्रोथ होता है, अच्छा पैसा मिलता है। अब हम चिल्ला रहे हैं ब्लैक बंगाल नहीं आ रहा है। 5 किलो 7 किलो, मैं नॉर्थ बंगाल में रहता था, वहाँ पे देसी का चलता था सब कुछ, ब्रॉयलर वहाँ पे कुछ था ही नहीं, ब्रॉयलर ये नहीं था। एक बकरे एक ब्लैक बंगाल का वेट आता था 5 से 7 किलो, और वो वहाँ पे बहुत ही पॉपुलर था। अब नहीं है। अब नाउ वी आर ट्राइंग टू कंजर्व दिस इंडिजिनस ब्रीड, आप प्रोजन सीमेंट टेक्नोलॉजी वो आप मेंटेन करके, सीमेंट बैंक में मेंटेन करके उसको हम प्रोपागेट कर रहे हैं। तो ये फार्मर्स का भी डिमांड है। हॉलस्टेन फ्रेजियन क्यों आया, हॉलस्टेन फ्रेजियन और जर्सी, उनको फार्मर्स को ज़्यादा पैसा चाहिए, क्योंकि लेबर इंटेंसिव, एवरीथिंग इज लेबर इंटेंसिव।
प्रिजर्व नहीं किया जाए तो अपना
नहीं, प्रिजर्व की एक बात है, प्रिजर्व हम कर लेंगे इसको। आप जहाँ हमारी है NBAGR ने जितने ब्रीड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक किए उनके पास प्रिजर्व है, सारे ब्रीड प्रिजर्व है, बट उस प्रिजर्व में भी सिलेक्शन, इंडिजिनस ब्रीड के भी सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस के थ्रू उसका हाई प्रोडक्टिवली ट्रेड को आइसोलेट करके उसको प्रिजर्व करना है। हमें ये नहीं है 5 अंडा देता है उसको हमने बोल के देसी है बोल के प्रिजर्व कर लिया। हम प्रिजर्व उस चीज को करेंगे जिस चीज का ट्रेड अच्छा है, हाई प्रोडक्टिविटी ट्रेड है, इंडिजिनस है, उसको हम प्रिजर्व करेंगे।
राइट,
थैंक यू सो मच।
या आई थिंक कि बहुत अच्छे, या
95%। अब साहिवाल उन्होंने जो कंटिन्यू सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस पे जा जाके आज उसके हाई ट्रेड को प्रिजर्व किया।
नहीं, आई थिंक दीज आर वेरी गुड पॉइंट्स जो दत्ता जी और नीरज जी ने बोले हैं। एंड आई थिंक इट्स जिस तरीके से आप बोल रहे हैं कि ये हमको पूरा फॉरवर्ड मार्केट डेवलप करना है, ब्रांड डेवलप करना है, ट्रेसेबिलिटी, तो हमने जैसे हेफर इंटरनेशनल प्रो पुअर वैल्यू चेन्स में जैसे हम काम करते हैं, उसमें इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, तो हमने जो टाई अप करा है, जैसे दीदी लोग बता रहे थे जैप फ्रेश, उसमें हम जो नीरज जी आप बोल रहे हैं वो ट्रेसेबिलिटी वो सब कुछ उसके अंदर करेंगे। बट ये आपके पॉइंट बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। आई थिंक अब ये हमारे को भी इट गिव्स अस गुड फूड फॉर थॉट कि इसको हम कैसे इंटीग्रेट करें। और जो बात नीरज जी आपने बोली कि इट हैज टू बी बोथ, it has to be mass production plus production by masses. How do we marry the two? And I think when you see how people are speaking so passionately, so I think definitely we need this different voices coming and different rainbow of collation, you know, जैसे अंतरधनुष में 7 तरह के रंग होते हैं, तो इसमें भी different voices चाहिए, and I'm sure we will be able to reach that level and we'll come together and build this into a movement.
मैडम आप जिस टाइम पे आए हैं ना, we missed the trend. Actually गवर्नमेंट की सारे प्रोग्राम था,
वही ना,
अब वो
लेट
प्रोग्राम हम खत्म कर दिए हैं, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट की जो भी फंडिंग आता है वी हैव टू गिव जस्टिफिकेशन व्हाई वी आर आस्किंग, इसमें हमारी देश की क्या भला हुआ, हम कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंचेंगे। आज के दिन में तो गवर्नमेंट की एवरी पेनी इज एक्सपेंडेड, हमें जस्टिफिकेशन देना पड़ता है जो फ्रॉम दिस एंगल तो आपको कहाँ पहुंचना है।
सर क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट मॉडल
नहीं ठीक है, सब बात लिया, सुनिए,
बट इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर अस टू टेक फीडबैक आल्सो,
डेवलपमेंट हमने सारा मान लिया, सब कुछ क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट, हमारी सारे स्मॉल एनिमल्स क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट है। इसलिए आप देखिएगा जो डेयरी एनिमल है लोग माने उसमें थोड़ा रोक लगने वाला है, लेकिन हम मानते हैं जो स्मॉल एनिमल जो फार्म करते हैं दिस आर ऑल क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट, इसमें ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस की उतना प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, पोल्ट्री में भी नहीं है, गोटाड़ी में भी नहीं है, पिगरी में भी नहीं है, तो इसलिए लोग इसको अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं। आज के दिन में अडॉप्ट करेगा ही तो सब मान रहे हैं, लेकिन लोगों को इनकम सोर्स रास्ता भी देना पड़ेगा ना, अदरवाइज वो क्यों करेंगे। आज इंटीग्रेशन पे लोग क्यों जा रहे हैं फार्मर्स, किसने बोला था तुम्हें इंटीग्रेशन में जाने के लिए, वो अपने आप जा रहे हैं। वो बोलता है हमें भाई वो झंझट नहीं है, फीड कहाँ से आएगा, वो मेडिसिन कहाँ से आएगा, मार्केटिंग का झंझट नहीं है, तो लोग जा रहे हैं उसमें।
So I think it had been a great, I would say, session of interaction and engagement. It's very important that any new model which is coming in the space should be tested, should be debated and criticized. And I'm sure all the organizations and stakeholders who are involved in the process would take these criticisms positively and would inform their model and refine it further to make it integrable across different states. Also, we are anyways integrating it with the National Livestock Mission by putting CAVE and A-HELP together. We are integrating it with the National Rural Livelihood Mission program. We are trying to use the AHIDF. So wherever there is a possibility of integrating it within the existing schemes, we have been doing, we are helping the community do that. So thank you so much, sir. I think your inputs had been really valuable. Reach out to every time whenever we are doing any revisions in this and take your inputs on that.
With that, you suggest include one thing, brand development.
Yes.
So that will be very helpful. And for these other small units, let us see this whether it can be funded. Let us approach to the tribal area. So it can be funded under this Janjati Yojana. Next financial next revision will include again. Let me see. Problem is that हमारी जब सरकार के पास पैसा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास चले जाता है और वो असली लोगों को पहुंचता नहीं है, इसलिए दीदी जो काम कर रहा है वो अपने आप खुद को डेवलप करे, उसमें जो भी इनपुट्स हम देंगे तो दैट विल बी देयर एसेट। वो ये नहीं सोचेंगे हमें तो फोकट में मिल गया, वो बात वाली नहीं है। इसलिए हमने सब जगह पे बैंकेबल डाला है, देखिए कितना सस्टेनेबल हो रहा है। आप इमेजिन एक साइलेज यूनिट बना के एक MBA स्टूडेंट केम बैक फ्रॉम द ऑस्ट्रेलिया 75 लाख रुपीज ईयरली इनकम कर रहे हैं, एक साइलेज यूनिट बना। ऐसे मध्य प्रदेश में कितने यूनिट लग गए जो बिग गोटारी पिगरी एंड पोल्ट्री सब लग गए मध्य प्रदेश में, कितना पैसा कमा रहे हैं। तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जो है वो अपने आप इन्वेस्ट करके वो अपना ओन करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है जब फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दे दिया वो तो वही खत्म हो जाए। तो दीदी लोग जो काम करते हैं वहाँ पे SHG का भी प्रोविजन है, हम देखते हैं जो पहले तो कैसे हम स्कीम के साथ फीड कर सकते हैं, इट्स नीड्स अ बिग पॉलिसी डिसीजन एंड डिस्कशन, और फिर बोलेंगे क्यों भाई तुमने क्यों पहले क्यों हटाया था, आप क्यों डाल रहे थे, दिस लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चन इज विल बी कमिंग। आप फॉरेस्ट एरिया हमने फॉरेन प्रोडक्शन टू फॉरेस्ट नॉन फॉरेस्ट एरिया पहले था, किसी ने लिया नहीं, पैसा वापस किया। आप लोगों को फॉरेस्ट के इतना फॉडर का शॉर्टेज हो गया, आप बोलता है स्कीम लाया, कोई स्टेट ने लेने के लिए तैयार नहीं। एजोला बट ये बहुत कम पैसे में हो सकता है, एजोला ठीक है बहुत अच्छा है, और अपने घर के अंदर ही छोटा सा गड्ढा खोद के पीट बना के और उसमें 15-20 रुपया 15-20 पैसा किलो ही है, वो हमारी फार्म में भी मिलता है, 5 पैसा 10 पैसा किलो हमारी फॉडर स्टेशन में भी अवेलेबल है, तो कल्टीवेट उसमें कर।
Sure. So after this, we would invite the panel, but two short comments. Then there is no scope of questions. If you have any comments to make in 30 seconds to 1 minute, please go ahead. Last two people. Please, ma'am.
Okay. Should I go? Okay. Thank you, everybody. So, respected Soni ji and Datta sir, two comments. जब सर ने बोला कि 200 कर रहे हैं तो 4 महीने खाली है, क्या होगा? आपके मॉडल में पार्टीशंस है, आप 50-50-50 कर सकते हो, हर महीने 50 आउट हो सकता है, तो फार्मर को हर महीने आएगा, तो सर का पॉइंट एड्रेस हो सकता है। और जो नीरज सर ने ब्रीडिंग की बात की, दीदी को ही हम अगर बोलते हैं ना, दीदी कौन सी मुर्गी 12 और 15 या 20 अंडे देती है, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम मदर हेन के लिए अगर उन्हीं के चूज़ों को वो सिलेक्ट करे, तो सर ग्राउंड लेवल से बॉटम अप सिलेक्शन आराम से किया जा सकता है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, ma'am. Suchand,
So actually, in MP I've seen like NLM मिशन से बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल फार्मर्स बहुत सारे इस तरीके से मॉडल्स कर रहे हैं। एक जो है उसमें प्रोविजन से NLM में पीजीज का भी SHGs का भी, लेकिन उसके पूरा प्रोग्रामेटिक डिजाइंस नहीं है। बेसिकली हम जब अगर कलेक्टिव्स की बात करते हैं जहाँ में 8-10 लोग मिलके कुछ मॉडल्स यूनिफॉर्मली करना चाह रहे हैं, तो लैंड होल्डिंग बहुत डिफरेंट होते हैं। मतलब कोई एक पीजी का लैंड होल्डिंग नहीं होता है, लैंड होल्डिंग मेंबर्स के होते हैं।
No, we will do it in our guideline. We are not getting that much of proposal, no suggestions from the FPO, SHG.
We actually submitted in state, but वो हमारे रूप में actually we submitted.
नहीं, वो state forward नहीं किया. You submit to us. हाँ, आप suggestion जो भी है SHG के लिए कैसे करना है, हम दे दीजिए। वो तो that will be the part of scheme guideline that can change anytime.
Because we submitted for poultry as well as poultry also, but उसमें वही आ गया लैंड को लेके जो है आपका कि एक ही लैंड होल्डिंग्स में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट व्हेन कलेक्टिवली जो मॉडल हम डिजाइन करते हैं तो एक ही जगह में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डिजाइन करके कैसे
नहीं, वो अगर FPO उनका टोटल FPO रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ले देते हैं तो हम अलाउ किए हैं। कई जगह मैंने एक प्रोग्राम में अलाउ किया है, आप फार्मर्स के साथ 50 जगह पे रखिए, जैसे उसमें होती है हिमाचल प्रदेश वगैरह में, जहाँ जो शीप का जो पैस्चरलिस्ट होते हैं ना, उनको भी हमने स्कीम के अंदर फिटिंग किया है। तो ग्रुप के हिसाब से अगर ग्रुप की मैं वो मॉडल जो भी है आप सजेशन हमें दे दीजिएगा, AHC साहब को दे दीजिएगा लिख के, तो हम उस मॉडल को जो ये है गाइडलाइन है, गाइडलाइन के थ्रू चेंज करें।
Okay.
क्योंकि ये कभी आया नहीं, SHG ग्रुप एक आध बहुत कम आए हैं, SHG JHG बहुत कम आया है, FPO तो कुछ आए हैं, बट इसमें करीब एक बहुत अच्छा मॉडल, मैं थोड़ा ऑफ द ट्रैक बोल रहा हूँ इसका, एक बहुत अच्छा मॉडल चलता है गोट विथ पोल्ट्री, गोटेड विथ पोल्ट्री, 1 गोट इज 6 पोल्ट्री बार्स। तो उसमें गोट जो खाता है उससे ही पोल्ट्री खाता है, और गोट उसमें हेल्दी रहता है क्योंकि वो पोल्ट्री सब खा लेता है। और उसके बाद जो बार्ड्स एक आता है, उसी बार्ड एक बेच के गोट की भी खाना हो जाती है, और वो बार्ड जो है बाद में मीट पर्पस के लिए हाई कॉस्ट में बेचा जाता है। एक
पोल्ट्री और फिश का भी ऐसे इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम।
हाँ, फिश का तो थोड़ा बड़ा स्केल लगता है, ये छोटा किसकी घर पे भी लग सकता है।
In Maharashtra, there are many farmers doing it actually, poultry and poultry.
Thank you. I'm really sorry to cut short everyone because we also have to keep
मैं
track.
अभी जाना चाहूँगा क्योंकि आज मंडे है और हजारों फोन कॉल ऑफिस से।
Sure. Thank you so much for coming, and thanks for sharing your insights. And I'm sure we would be reaching out to you again with more input.
वो जो भी सजेशन देना है, और मैं ये मॉडल I will try in the new scheme.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite the panel so that the panel discussion is scaling up, how to scale up, and we are talking about the 5P, public-private people partnership for poultry. I'll invite the panelists, Dr. U. Rajkumar, Principal Scientist and Head HEB Division, ICAR Directorate. Sir, यहाँ पे. Mr. Anuj Kumbhar, CEO WRMS. Dipanvita Chakravarti, Regional Lead Corporate Responsibility and Sustainability Asia Pacific for Kaki. Dr. Rajesh Singh, Editor-in-Chief, Pashudhan Prahari. Dr. Kamna Barkatki. Okay. Dr. S. Glory Swarupa, Director General, National Institute of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana region. So I would also request our moderator, Mr. Surimani Raulji, Managing Trustee of Feed. So he'll moderate from here.
Friends, I have a very tight schedule right now, and I have to remind all of you that it has to be managed in a span of 45 minutes. And I will request all my panel members to restrict their, debate, dialogue, discourse for 5 minutes each. I will also open up for about 10 to 12 minutes to all our participants here, and I will reserve for 5 minutes for me. Great to have all these deliberations since morning on listening from community, looking at the model, and also the debate and discourse that I have been hearing is very interesting. Yes, any model. If you watch any Hindi movie, you will find there are many models. But if you ever go to the Mumbai streets, you will find the models are quite different in their appearance. So also, I bring a comparison that any model is a model in description, in design. But in practice, we have to not deviate, keep the core principles, core parameters in front, and then look at how it really helps in enhancing the income, the livelihoods of our community members, our farmers, our women, didis, who spoke about everything today morning. And number two, there are a host of players in the value chain. In the value chain, starting from the growers, farmers, producers, caves, whatever name that you can put. And there are market players. There is a segment of private players. There are, input providers. And ultimately, we consume. We are the consumers. And that is the span of the value chain, starting from production to do mass production or production by masses, whatever be the kind of paradigm that you can look at. Here also, why we brought all of us together, the purpose is that let us discuss, debate, create a roadmap in each of the states, wherever it is possible, feasible, looking at the agro-climatic zones and climatic conditions. All of us experience the changes happening in India and across the country, globe. Every day you will find there is something happening, the cyclic, the seasonality is changing. So also three organizations have come together. The Passing Gift Private Limited, PGPL, HEFA, one side, TRI, Transfer Rural India Foundation, other side, and Forum of Enterprises for Equitable Development as like a knowledge repository for these things. So we came together to bring all of you to discuss and also have a national laws give a branding to it. Why it is branding? All of us talked about branding, traceability. Today, what you are talking is actually giving a re-emphasizing, repurposing a brand that yes, there is a need, that there is a go for backyard poultry. What we see, what we experience, there is a market, or that is a commercialization of poultry segment, but in the whole, as I mentioned in the value chain, there is a public-private partnership. Yes, Kamna madam, public-private partnership in entire poultry segment, and that building that partnership, we are all of us are here, and starting from, if you look at the panel members, including all of you are experts in this particular sector in poultry, backyard poultry. That's why you have come here. And some of my colleagues, those who I have met, I want to speak. We should have been invited to speak. All of us are here to speak and also contribute in the process. So what I will do, you can imagine there are 6 veterans on the dais, and I will request each of them to confine to 4 or 5 minutes of their discussion and educate us, inform us, or encourage us to do more and more from their perspective. I will start with Swarupa Madam from the NICIET, National Institute, known for motivating entrepreneurs. Very big organization, very old organization in government. I'm going in that order so that I will not find it difficult for me also. But I'm not going by alphabetically. I'm just listening from everybody. How do we actually look at the entrepreneurs from 3-4 perspective here, starting from grower to brooder to breeder to hatching and all kinds of things. And each of us, including the input providers, market players, they have a role. And also the research and development organization, they are also entrepreneurs. So farming, I would rather emphasize farming as a business, how this can tempt all of us. So Sarupa Madam, please, from not only NICIET perspective, but from the perspective of all the backyard poultry growers. Thank you. 4 to 5 minutes, please.
Namaskar. I congratulate the organizers and my compliments to all the दीदीस for your commendable job. जितने दीदी यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, आपने बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, इसलिए मैं आपको शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ और बहुत बधाई देती हूँ. ఆంధ్ర ప్రదేశ్ నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి దీదీస్కి కూడా శుభాకాంక్షలు, అభినందనలు మీరు చేస్తున్న మంచి పనికి. I thank the organizers for considering MSME to be part of this launch. Entrepreneurship is a very, very big subject. In a nutshell, National Institute for MSME, we are serving the country for the growth and development of entrepreneurship and MSMEs across developing countries also. I have been listening, so I'm not an expert in poultry, but we chant the mantra of entrepreneurship. Morning, Mr. Charanjit Singh ji was here, the additional secretary. We are a national resource organization within Ministry of Rural Development. So we are implementing this SRLM across the country, State Rural Livelihood Mission. Here I'm just want to share with the stakeholders who are part of this backyard poultry, like we can help you in taking this message. We cannot teach about rearing the birds or your breeding or your eggs and many things, but wherever we are implementing this SRLM, we do a lot of business development service providers capacity building and also SHG groups capacity building for micro enterprise development, talking about our Ministry of MSME schemes. We have more schemes related to rural entrepreneurship, so there we can talk about this backyard program, poultry program, that we can always do. If you give us one capsule, one module, so which including all the today's comments, suggestions, whatever, if you make one single capsule, you can share with us, that we will disseminate. I think at present I can see Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. So whenever we are doing the programs here, we will invite the resource persons or the experts part of this mission. Otherwise, if you give us the module, then we can always share that. Ultimately, the objective is to increase their income and improve their livelihoods. So that we are very much part of that. Apart from that, we are also integral part of National Urban Livelihood Mission. In that, our focus is on women. So we started this program from Leh Ladakh. So women entrepreneurship development we are doing. So Northeast, everywhere we are doing that. Tripura we have completed, Leh Ladakh, Madhya Pradesh, many states we are covering. So you can, again, I'm telling that, you can share that. So we will do this, and in Andhra Pradesh are here. If we start, then we'll invite you. Then we have a very good, popular, very successful scheme from our ministry, that is Poultry, Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries. We are the nodal agency for Ministry of MSME. We have clusters across the country implemented already. So we can also introduce this as an alternate livelihood for them. Wherever honey processing they are doing, they can do this. Jharkhand, we have all tribal clusters. In Telangana, we have tribal clusters who are doing bamboo processing and coir processing. Likewise, many rural industries we have already established. There we can reintroduce as alternate livelihoods. We have one, again, very successful scheme from our ministry, that is Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, but they don't support rearing of these animals or, something related to, meat and meat production. But when I looked at this model, so you have this shade net, some, I think, nylon net, and some cage making, and some plastic making, and I think eggs packaging also, you need some crates, recycled paper, plastic, many things are there. That could be an industry. There we do have a lot of subsidies and women additional subsidies. In rural areas, we have extra incentives. I think that can be integrated. Then we have one, again, a good scheme called Mudra. I think majority of you are aware. So under that scheme, so up to 10 lakhs loan is given. So without any collateral, without any security, surety and all. I think Didis can avail this, apart from whatever rural development and other ministries are extending. And recently we have also become the nodal agency for Ministry of Social Justice under denotified tribes, the tribes which are not scheduled with Government of India. So they are wanted them to come back and get into this small, tiny, very cottage entrepreneurship activities that we have started with Andhra Pradesh. So there we can always introduce this backyard poultry program. And regarding branding, so we have been training the CEOs, Chief Executive Officers of Farmer Producer Organization. So NABARD is sponsoring this program to build the capacity of this CEOs of FPOs. They have the produce, but they don't know how to sell within the district, across the borders in India, and outside, very remote chance. So we are helping them to build their brand, and they were very successful. We have case studies also. You can visit our website. And I'm very happy to announce that we have completed diamond years of services for the country. After that, we have taken a call to double the number of women entrepreneurs in the country, because in MSME sector, women participation is very minimal. We have taken that call, and we are working very seriously. So whatever help required for the Didis, we are ready to extend that. And Niti Aayog, they have started women entrepreneurship platform in 2020 in Delhi. The first regional center will be coming up in our campus. On 1st of August, we are going to inaugurate that. I think that will give a lot of visibility and emphasis, whatever women require for the empowerment or their mainstreaming or enterprising activities. Apart from this, from Ministry of Agriculture, there is one scheme called Agri-Clinics and Agri-Business Centers. So through that scheme, I think a lot of agriculture graduates are already trained across the country. They have established these clinics, and they are serving the rural population, farmers in agriculture and allied sectors. I think if this passing gifts are, if international, if they can reach them and, make a tie-up with them, I think at one go you can reach the country, and, this can be definitely multiplied and scaled up. And one small intervention, I could see that cave, right? So entrepreneurs. So I'm happy to note the word entrepreneur. So whatever is required for the entrepreneur, be it illiterate women or semi-literate, neo-literate, or including the cadre officers, we are building their capacity in entrepreneurship. So for any capacity building need, so you can always approach us. So we are with you. Whatever possible support, cooperation is required, we will extend. So my best wishes to all the Didis and the organizers. Thank you very much. I think I am within my time.
Thank you, ma'am. Sarupa, ma'am, great to listen to you. And you are the nodal organization. This year, I mean, the nodal organization for many programs. What I heard is more than 12 programs. They are the nodal agency. And we would like to really, really benefit, link, and converge most of the things that is related to entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurship, as well as backyard poultry entrepreneurship. Thank you, ma'am, for informing so many things to us, and we will definitely knock at your door to leverage out of that. Next, I'm going to introduce my old friend, colleague, Dipannita Chakravarti. She is the regional head of Cargill. It's a big brand. No need to talk about Cargill, everybody knows, and they are also the sponsor for the program Hatching Hope. One interesting bit I like to add is, we used to travel a lot to Karnataka in Davangere, and after completing the Davangere program, she will say, I'm going to do Hatching Hope. She will travel from Davangere to Mauritius, which is my home state. And so I feel that time, it was like a story of 5 years back. And she has received lot many awards, corporate awards, and she has a knack for gender, nutrition. She believes, practices also a lot of things. And having said that, you have to really, really help us in knowing many things on not only hatching hope, but hatching the gathering here, how we will build up and help us in really scale up and bring the element of sustainability, traceability, and the corporate practices to be imbibed at the bottom of entrepreneurship. Thank you, Deepanita.
Thank you. Thank you, Suryamani. And yes, and thank you for getting me nostalgic as well. Those were good times, and this is a good day as well. Thank you for having me here, and big compliments to the Didis, first of all. I have met many of you also on the field, so I feel very privileged about that. लेकिन मैं आप लोगों से एक बात ज़रूर बोलना चाहूँगी, that आप लोगों ने जो अभी तक अचीव किया है वो फिनोमिनल है, लेकिन डिससेटिस्फाइड रहिएगा प्लीज़, ठीक है? डिससेटिस्फाइड रहिएगा, अपने आप को चैलेंज कीजिएगा और हम सब लोगों को चैलेंज कीजिएगा, बिकॉज ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप होता है फॉर अस टू कीप ग्रोइंग एंड डेवलपिंग and learning new things, which is pretty much the cornerstone of how we are going to scale together, right? Okay, having said that, going to the question of scale, when we started the conversation about Hatching Hope back in 2016, 2017, and we set ourselves a very ambitious goal of improving nutrition and increasing living wages for 100 million people across the world. And that pretty much really is the core of Cargill's purpose of nourishing the world in a safe, responsible, and sustainable way, the organization that I work for. And we also took the ambitious goal of committing that out of the 100 million people that we aim to improve lives and livelihoods of, out of that 60 million will come from India. So there you go. We have it already. And today, listening to the various deliberations and everybody that made some great comments and great suggestions, I think one of the things, and I defer to Reena and team all the time about this, that a program like this And as we talk of the ecosystem that exists in the country, the demographics that exist in our country, convergence is such an important aspect. And I'm really glad that we are talking, debating, discussing, arguing, agreeing, not agreeing with each other, because that is very, very critical to learn along with each other. And we are very open to that. I can talk about Kargil from that perspective. We are really looking to innovate, looking at tech. You know, we talked about traceability today. And we have been talking about using tech and digital world, and somebody was talking in the morning about the use of information, dissemination of information through reels and what have you, right? And we just see those as big opportunities for us to be able to work together. And that's why I say I think we really need to challenge ourselves and challenge each other and bring that convergence. Look, I mean, you know, if we have to just go into some of the basics again, our country is carb sufficient but protein deficient. There is no going back from that. That's a reality that exists, right? We do talk about dietary diversity in this country. And you know, a model like this, bringing poultry at the center, and because it is grown at the backyard as well, it can become a very, very viable option. Speaking of scale, as we talked about it, there is also the aspect of conservation and of the indigenous breeds, as we spoke about it. But I don't think it's either or conversation to have. It's an and conversation to have, right? We have to scale, we have to conserve, and we also have to look at the ecological balance that we have to manage, because the climate crisis that we are all looking at, I mean, we are talking about it, like in my remit, I talk about it almost every minute. And you know, Kargil, because we are in various crops and commodities and stuff, it impacts us every single day. And as we look at the future and the future of farming, all of us sitting here in the room have a responsibility, because all of us eat. That's very, very basic. Tomorrow, where the food is going to come from is something that will be determined by how we behave and how we work towards those things today. And therefore, I just do want to also say that the food system cannot operate if we do not understand how the climate works, if we do not understand how the market linkages will come about. All of those are very, very critical factors for all of us to think about. And last but not the least, I think we spoke about specifically to the context of the geographies where we are operating. We talked and heard a lot about a visible gap that exists between the demand side and the supply side. And I think we have some great amount of work to do. And I'm looking at Rina right now and the team sitting here of you know, going into some more conversation, and also people sitting on the dais here, and Mr. Datta, who was there, who talked about it also in quite a number of details earlier, really to come together and see how we solve for some of those issues, because those are pertinent. And again, from a Kargil standpoint, you know, we have committed our philanthropic grant to it, and we continue to stay committed, but it will only make sense when it can self-sustain at some point. And the didis who are sitting here right now, and many others who have, you know, who are back home in the States, are actually able to create those models that can become success stories and compelling stories for others to replicate and scale. I think that's what looks like a viable way for us to go together. And thank you so much for sharing what you've shared about entrepreneurship. We have some great ones in the program, and those opportunities and linkages and partnerships can really help us all thrive together. So thank you.
Thank you, Deepanita. Putting a last line, entrepreneurship for all our credit goes to our all didis, those who are present and those who are not present also, but operating from the villages. Now I will move to Dr. U. Rajkumar, the principal scientist and head genetics at the ICAR Poultry Research Institute, Hyderabad. Great people are also earlier discussing about breed, Jama Palma, and other things. I have practically gone to parts of the country. I have worked at least 10 states in the country, hands-on. and I have visited Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, my home state, and recently I have been to Mayurbhanj, in fact. And how difficult it is to get the right breed is the challenge. So, from the research angle, from the genetic angle, if you help us in knowing agroclimatically as well as state to state and the variation that we can and we should promote. And when you talk of scale, it's not like it has to be contextualized and customized. Please, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. Let me thank the organizers for inviting me to this important launch of the backyard poultry model. And I compliment all these Didis for their wonderful work. So I represent ICR. I'm working as a head of animal genetics breeding division at ICR Directorate of Poultry Research. So most of you people who are into backyard poultry know about bird Vanaraja. So this Vanaraja bird has really transformed the backyard poultry over in India over the years. So we developed some of the varieties like Vanaraja, Grand Prix. They are really popularized across the country, and there was acceptance by the farmers also. So at that time, actually, the backyard poultry was it is like a subsidiary activity. The main purpose was to provide a good nutrition to the family, maybe within 20 to 50 birds. That was the main aim during 1990s. So over the period, so the priorities have changed. Now backyard poultry is seen as a business model also. So we have worked a lot in this area, and we could see our experience shows wherever these type of projects are being implemented, when we give anything free, our experience is the result is nil. Once we stop that program, so nobody cares about that. So that was the experience what we observed from the government sector schemes. But nonetheless, it has provided the nutrition aspect. No, it has taken care. The aim of the government of India in those days it has fulfilled. Now, since so the priority is to go to a business model in backyard poultry. So, is it possible? Definitely, it is possible. Our experience shows the main bottleneck was one is the biosecurity and what was discussed in this model, and another thing was the marketing. So, whatever model you have shown, it is already established only. The new input, what you have added is the FPO concept, which is even Government of India is also promoting, where both forward and backward linkages has to be given to the farmer. Then definitely it is going to be a successful program. And some technical issues regarding your model, maybe if you want, I can even discuss afterwards also. Whatever calculations, all those things, I think a little bit exercise has to be done to make it final. Because whatever data you have seen a bird, 30 grams feed and azola, I don't think that is sufficient for the bird. So many technical input issues are there that I am not going to discuss here. But I can definitely tell you, whenever you are going to scale up anything, so better you discuss in detail with the technical experts. So like organizations like us, our Directorate of Poultry Research is there, and another technical university people may also be there. You just discuss with them, then you will see what are the what are the problems in that, where we can just improve on that. So that is a major issue. It can be improved further, whatever you have shown. And regarding the scaling up, once our experience, even you people may agree, when farmer is assured of his income, when farmer satisfies, automatically whatever technology, whatever model, So it is going to be scaled up automatically. So otherwise, no, definitely when you give some inputs, that period it will go on. After that, again it will collapse. When farmer satisfies, like how poultry industry has grown into small traditional venture to a big industry, the thing is the farmer is convinced and farmer is satisfied is going to get profit if he invests something. So that should be there in any technology. Definitely it is going to be scale up. Only you can either government or these organizations can aid the people in getting say proper inputs like good germplasm, some maybe veterinary services, vaccinations, feeding. All these things we can just farmer has to satisfy himself. So that way we can just go forward. And regarding the if you say government of India policy is we should have a policy is non-zero descript. So there should not be any desi name, desi chicken or desi breed, any type. So we have working in machine mode to characterize all the breeds, all animals, not even poultry. All animals has to be characterized and notified by the government of India in a gazette notification. So in that case, now wherever you are working, if you really feel that the population is unique, you can take the help of some organization like us or even university. You can characterize those birds and you can recognize as a breed. Coming to Orissa, we have already two recognized chicken breeds. One is Ansli. It looks like Asil only. What you are talking maybe Ansli only. Another is full bunny chicken something is there. So those are there. You can just concentrate on that. You can uh, promote those birds instead of taking desi chicken and again doing thing. Those two can be done. And in case of AP, everybody knows Asil is one of the important breed. Asil is known for its different some martial qualities, though it is banned, but it's a very big business. So people are earning a lot of money by maintaining Asil cocks. So in Andhra, you can just concentrate. Like wherever you are working, you can think of that local breed and promote that. So these are some of the things. And main thing is the marketing. If you are able to provide market, backyard poultry is going to sustain. That is the only thing. You can buy if you are rearing 50 birds and maybe with 20% mortality. Those birds definitely they can sell it on their own. Individual farmer can sell on his own. But it's not the case if you are giving 200, 500 birds. Selling is a difficult. And the price also, when you are selling as a retail, it is different. When you are selling it as a wholesale, it is different. Generally, wholesale bird, you cannot sell more than 200 rupees. Either it is desi or anything. To a trader, you have to go to the trader, then he will demand his own price. So that is the way where your FPO can help them. And FPO, if FPO also you can, if you see even processing, if processing one area where you will get more money instead of selling a bird, if you process it and sell it, the price will be higher. The FPO can think of having a processing unit and sell the meat. So that is going to be useful. And this is what I want to just highlight. And please discuss before going to the final stage with a technical expert. That will benefit your model and it will improve your functioning also. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajkumar. In fact, of course, we could not, take your input, but we have done a lot of iterations to a select group. So we can broad base now, seeking their opinions and views on the economics part of it and also the contextual part of it. Now I move to Mr. Anuj Kumbat, CEO, founder of the Weather Risk Management Services. We have been talking about climate change, weather, disaster, and also, of course, insurance. Um, Mr. Charanjit Singh talked about insurance. Dr. Datta also talked about insurance. How we'll do it? Why will do it? And how can we take it forward? Because with the change in climate, definitely the ecosystem is going to be impacted heavily, and we don't have control over this. We have to only can take mitigation measures. Yes, Mr. Kumar, please. And 4 to 5 minutes, please. Restrict.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me here. It's great to be here at this conference or this workshop. Primarily, the subject is very interesting. We're talking about alternative livelihoods of backyard poultry, and as a risk manager, we love diversification. We are always in for diversification. We like things which diversify the risk, and I'm sure not just the income generation opportunity, we are also talking about and why some of these subjects are taken up as livelihoods, because they also diversify the risk of entrepreneurs or farmers who take up these livelihoods. So it's a great opportunity to be here. And I think the other thing which is happening here is that there's a diversity of audience as well. So we have all kinds of people who are there, some of the experts, and also those who are really on ground working on this and developing this livelihood for themselves. Looking at the climate angle and more from insurance perspective, but before I move to insurance, I think very important aspect of what we see as a climate angle in every livelihood is that unless you are looking at the climate lens at the time of designing the project or implementing the program, you are actually missing a great deal of opportunity, or probably looking at some major loss down the road. Given the climate change which is happening and what we've seen over the last 5-6 years, and you would have noticed that of the worst temperature years in last century, almost all of them have happened in the last 10 years. So every year we are basically breaking the records of the previous year, and this is becoming much more commonplace. Keeping that in mind, it's very important to look at every project or every livelihood program from the perspective that how it is climate friendly, only from the perspective of what it is generating in terms of carbon footprint, but also from the perspective of how risky it is in terms of undertaking. What sort of elements which have to be brought in terms of climate mitigation or management for those who are undertaking these livelihoods. Right from the part what Sir spoke about in terms of breed selection, feed selection, also from the perspective of infrastructure which is being used to house those poultry and livestock. So it's important to really take into account all these aspects while designing the livelihood program. Now, the insurance piece is probably the last piece which comes in play once you have actually done work on risk mitigation, risk management, and also looked at early warning system and how do we manage risk using those. Then comes the insurance, which basically is that if nothing works, then probably we should look at how do we compensate in case there is a loss. And that's where the insurance piece comes in. Now, one challenge which we always face is to cover these small livelihoods from the perspective of offering an indemnity-based insurance. When we're talking about indemnity insurance, which basically means for a general public कि अगर आपकी गाड़ी खराब हो गई है तो गाड़ी आप गराज में लेके जाएंगे, गराज वाला बताएगा कितना खर्चा होगा, इंश्योरेंस वाला आएगा देखेगा कि वो खर्चा सही है कि नहीं और वो उसके पैसे देगा. Unfortunately, एक small livelihood के अंदर इस तरह से insurance हो नहीं पाता है. We are not able to offer these kind of insurance solutions. But then risk is still there and we need to find a way. So that's the reason parametric insurance comes into play and how it is offered. I would like to simplify this process of insurance and what is offered as an insurance and parametric insurance by giving an example, and I'll probably try and keep it in Hindi. अगर आप जब भी मौसम बीमारी का होता है, जब बीमार होने की संभावनाएं ज़्यादा होती है, तो जनरली फैमिली मेम्बर्स अपने बच्चों को और सबको ये बोलते हैं कि आप ये मेजर्स लीजिए. वैसे अगर कोई डेंगू है तो ये बोला जाता है कि घर में साफ़ पानी रखा नहीं जाए, छोड़ के नहीं रखा जाए, पानी को छोड़ा नहीं जाए. मलेरिया है तो दूसरे मेजर्स लिए जाते हैं ताकि मलेरिया का होने की संभावना कम हो. या फिर आपको जुकाम या खांसी के सीजन्स में आपको ये बताया जाता है कि आप ये मेजर्स लीजिए ताकि आपको बीमार होने की संभावना कम होगी. That is what you can call as रिस्क मिटिगेशन हम स्टार्ट उससे करते हैं कि आप कैसे रिस्क को कम करें। बट मान लीजिए उसके बाद भी कुछ लोगों को बुखार होता है और अर्ली अगर तुरंत पता पड़ता है और 100 डिग्री बुखार है तो आप कुछ दवाइयाँ लेके या कुछ घर के नुस्खे यूज़ करके उस बुखार को मैनेज करेंगे। बट अगर वो बुखार 101, 102 के ऊपर निकल जाता है तो आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, डॉक्टर आपको दवाइयाँ देता है और वो दवाइयों से आप ठीक हो सकते हैं। बट कई बार ऐसा होता है कि बीमारी काफ़ी बढ़ सकती है, जैसे आप चिकनगुनिया को ले लीजिए या फिर डेंगू है, वहाँ पे ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि आपको बहुत तेज़ बुखार हो रहा है 104, 105, तो आपको हॉस्पिटल जाना पड़ेगा। ना अगर आपने नोट किया हो किसी भी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोग्राम में ये रिस्क मिटिगेशन से लेके 104, 105 जब तक आप हॉस्पिटल नहीं गए कोई इंश्योरेंस नहीं मिलता है। बट जैसे ही आप हॉस्पिटल गए आपका खर्चा बढ़ गया, पहले आपने कुछ कुछ ऐसे काम किए जिसमें कम खर्चे में आपका काम हो गया, बट जैसे ही आप हॉस्पिटल में दाखिला हुआ खर्चा एकदम से बढ़ गया और वहाँ पे आपको जरूरत पड़ी कि कोई आपको उस खर्चे को की भरपाई कर दे या कोई उसका पैसा दे दे। दैट इज व्हेन इंश्योरेंस कम्स इनटू प्ले। 104, 105 बुखार पे आपको वो पेमेंट हो जाता है कि आप अपना हॉस्पिटल का खर्चा उठा पाए। नाउ पैरामेट्रिक इंश्योरेंस या पोल्ट्री के लिए कुछ इंश्योरेंस जो बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री के लिए कुछ इसी तरह वर्क करता है, जहाँ पे हम ये आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं कि कौन सा तापमान, कौन सी फ्लड, कौन सा रेनफॉल या कम तापमान या ज़्यादा तापमान क्या ऐसी चीज़ है जो आपकी बर्ड मोर्टालिटी को या आपकी फ्लॉक को नुकसान पहुंचा सकता है, जिससे डेथ रेट या ज़्यादा बर्ड्स के मरने की संभावना है। उस टेम्परेचर और रेनफॉल या उस कंडीशन को हम कवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो इनिशियली कंडीशन जैसे मैंने बोला 100 से 104 तक शायद हम कवर नहीं कर पाए, बट 104 के ऊपर अगर हो जाता है विच मीन्स अगर टेम्परेचर बहुत बढ़ गया या बहुत कम हो गया, उसके कारण आपके बर्ड्स मोर्टेलिटी या बर्ड्स की डेथ ज़्यादा हो गई, तो हम उसका पेमेंट कंपनसेशन देते हैं। तो ये जो मौसम आधारित बीमा जिसे कहते हैं, ये उस तरह का बीमा है जिसके अंदर मौसम की कंडीशंस को देखते हुए आपको पेमेंट। और ऐसा ही कुछ बीमा आजकल लाइव स्टॉक्स में हो रहा है, बहुत सारे दुनिया में बहुत सारी जगह पे गाय, कैमल, भैंस, इन सब का बीमा आप ये देख रहे होंगे कि गर्मी बहुत बढ़ती जा रही है, तो इसके कारण डेथ रेट, कैटल मोर्टेलिटी भी इंक्रीज होती जा रही है या फिर पोल्ट्री मोर्टेलिटी भी इंक्रीज होती जा रही है, ज़्यादा कैटल और ज़्यादा पोल्ट्री की डेथ्स हो रही हैं। उसको मैनेज करने के लिए और एक स्मॉल होल्डर फार्मर को या एक छोटे किसान को इसका इंश्योरेंस देने के लिए ये मौसम आधारित बीमा डिज़ाइन होता है और ये दुनिया में काफ़ी कंट्रीज़ में दिया जाता है। मंगोलिया एक ऐसा कंट्री है जहाँ पे ये लो टेम्परेचर के लिए दिया जाता है। केन्या एक ऐसा कंट्री है जहाँ पे ये हाई टेम्परेचर और ड्राउट मतलब सूखे के लिए दिया जाता है। इंडिया में हीट वेव के लिए दिया जा रहा है। उसी तरह का बीमा हमने पोल्ट्री, बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री के लिए भी डिज़ाइन किया है हीफर के साथ, एंड हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो बीमा हम ऑफर कर पाएँ जिसके अंदर कम या ज़्यादा तापमान या फिर फ्लड या बारिश, ज़्यादा बारिश के कारण अगर कुछ नुकसान होता है पोल्ट्री को तो वो किसान को उसकी भरपाई होती है। मैं अभी इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा। इफ़ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस आई वुड बी हैप्पी टू आंसर। थैंक यू।
During the lunch time. Happy to answer the question during the lunch time. We talked about early warning, risk management. I'm also running through now some risk management. Early warnings are coming to my mobile phone. The early warnings are for our lunch break also and closing because IIC follows a very strict principle. Without, if you don't close, then food insecurity का issue है. Okay, no, not diluting little in a lighter vein. I am just putting this. We have Dr. Rajesh Singh, editor-in-chief of Posudhan Prahari. Very interesting thing. When I looked at and some internet, who are the players in this backyard poultry business in the value chain? Top of it comes Posudhan Prahari. Then but who is that gentleman? Let me search. And I searched by going down to his telephone number, contacting anonymously. And the first two calls I failed. And then third call he called and said, I am so and so, can we talk? So I was successful in tracing him. And he is one who brings all information together and disseminates through net, through magazines and through various literatures on Posudhan. poultry livestock in English from Pasudhan, but mostly backyard poultry. So he likes the subject so much. He wanted to say, okay, I like to come. So I thought, okay, he's the best person to speak. But very briefly, Dr. Singh sir. Thank you.
आप सभी को नमस्कार। मैं तो आभारी हूँ सूर्यमणि सर का क्योंकि समय का जो ये है बदलता है। मैं बहुत संक्षिप्त में आज का जो प्रोग्राम, आज का मॉडल है, उस पर मैं 2 शब्द बोलना चाहता हूँ। ये प्रोग्राम, ये जो मॉडल मैं जो आज अभी देखा, 6 महीना पहले मैं चूंकि टाटा स्टील फाउंडेशन से जुड़ा हूँ और पटमदा एक ब्लॉक है जमशेदपुर में, सेम मॉडल वहाँ पर रिप्लिकेट हो रहा है। वहाँ पर मैं ऑन एंड ऑफ जाता हूँ, विजिट कर रहा हूँ लगभग 6 महीने से। और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ यहाँ पर जो भी आप लोग हैं और खासकर जो इस सेक्टर से जुड़े हुए हैं, कि ये विडंबना है कि आज से करीब 20 साल पहले लगभग 3 से 3.5 करोड़ पोल्ट्री फार्मर्स इंडिया में थे। आज लगभग 2 करोड़ के से भी कम रह गए हैं। आप सोचिए। उसी तरह चूंकि आज के ये में हम लोग सेकंड है वर्ल्ड वाइड जो एक प्रोडक्शन में, अमेरिका जो है 3rd है और वहां पर कुछ हजार पोल्ट्री फार्मर्स हैं। तो आने वाला समय में जैसे जैसे हम लोग डेवलप होंगे, पोल्ट्री फार्मर्स और कम होते जाएगा। क्या ये हम लोगों का डेवलपमेंट मॉडल है? नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से तो नहीं। और मैडम ने, सोनी मैडम ने भी बोला, प्रोडक्शन माने मासेस होना चाहिए, तो मास होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए। और ये मॉडल जो है लगभग 9 से 10 करोड़ रूरल जो एग्रीकल्चर फार्मर हैं, जो गरीब हैं, जो नीडी हैं, उनके लिए ये बहुत ही बोल सकते हैं वरदान साबित हो सकता है। और जहां तक सक्सेसफुल मॉडल का सवाल है, इस पर हम लोग डिबेट में बहुत हमारे सम्मानित वक्ताओं ने कुछ क्वेरी भी उठाया। मैं अपने अनुभव से कह सकता हूं कि डॉक्टर वर्गीज कुरियन का मॉडल जो अमूल का मॉडल है, वही मॉडल मोर और लेस ये है। और आज पूरे वर्ल्ड में लगभग 25% मिल्क का प्रोडक्शन इंडिया कर रहा है। और जो हम लोगों का ICMR का 280 ml दूध मिनिमम होना चाहिए, आज हम लोग 450 ml से ऊपर पर कैपिटा कंजम्पशन है। हम लोग को मिनिमम 188 होना चाहिए कंजम्पशन के लिए, आज हम लोग 101 पर हैं। अब जहां तक देहात का सवाल है, अगर उसका कैलकुलेट करें तो वहां पर अवेलेबिलिटी अंडा का 50 से भी कम होगा। और उसी तरह दूध का तो खैर हम लोग सेल्फ सफिशिएंट है। तो ये मॉडल जो है बिल्कुल आने वाला समय में सक्सेसफुल है, बशर्ते कि इसका एग्जीक्यूशन FPO के माध्यम से हो। और जैसे कि सर ने बताया था, दत्ता सर ने और हमारे जो सम्मानित वक्ताओं ने, कि एक इसको क्रिएट किया जाए, ये ब्रांड क्रिएट किया जाए। मैं जिस अपार्टमेंट में रहता हूँ, पर्सनल आपको बता दूं कि वहां पर दूध 50 रुपया से लेकर के 150 रुपीज लीटर तक आदमी लेते हैं। लगभग 5000 वहां पर अपार्टमेंट्स है और 150 रुपीज लीटर दूध, देसी दूध लिया जाता है। और पढ़े लिखे जो भी एजुकेटेड जिनको बोलते हैं वो लोग लेते हैं, बकायदे वो लोग देखते भी हैं, लेते हैं। उसी तरह 50 रुपया भी दूध है। तो डिपेंड करता है कि आप मार्केटिंग कैसे करते हैं और क्या ऑथेंटिक ट्रेसेबिलिटी कैसा है। अगर दूध सही है, देसी दूध है, तो आप उसका गुणवत्ता तो है, लेकिन आप जो प्रेफरेंस है आदमी का, उसको आप हटा नहीं सकते हैं। जो देसी मुर्गी का जो चाह है, जो इंटरेस्ट है, जो देहात में जो एक तरह से अट्रैक्शन है, जो पैशन है, उसको कभी खत्म नहीं किया जा सकता है। और ये तीनों ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, फॉर इंटरनेशनल फीड और ये रूरल RTI जो है, इन्होंने ये जो बीड़ा उठाया है इस काम का, ये इसको स्केल अप बहुत आराम से किया जा सकता है। राजकुमार सर ने थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल इनका इशू ये वाजिब था, लेकिन उसको स्कैवेंजिंग फीड जो बेस है उसको कैसे हम लोग बढ़ा सकते हैं, वो नेचुरल फीड तरीके से उसमें और कैसे हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि एजोला फीड के अलावा और हम लोग मैगेट या और कुछ उस या इस तरह का पेड़ जहाँ पर कि कुछ इंसेक्ट्स रहते हैं जिससे वो खाएगी, प्रोटीन का वो सोर्स होगा, और कैसे कर सकते हैं ये स्टडी का विषय है। तो चूंकि सर का समय का बाध्यता है, तो मैं चाहूंगा कि ये इस पर एक्सप्लोर हो और आने वाला समय में इस पर केस स्टडी हो। मैं और ज्यादा समय नहीं लेते हुए अपने
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राजेश जी, who came all the way from Jamshedpur, Tata's, and I know Tata Trust representatives are also here. They have also mega program on backyard poultry that during lunch definitely will take the advantage of talking. I also now bring the discussion to Kamna Madam. Dr. Kamna is the director of Central Poultry Research Institute based in Chandigarh. In fact, day for yesterday, my colleague said, "Sir, somebody from Kashmir is planning to join this program." I said, "Good thing. Somebody from Kashmir has shown the interest. Good." So this program, if you see the profile of the participants, you will find it comes from all across the country, and that's the beauty of this convergence. So, Kamna Madam, even if that CPR, Central Poultry Research Institute, designated for North, I think North. So, if you can please throw your insights to these, so we'll be happy to take forward, of course, the breed and other factors.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really glad to be in presence of such a talented gathering, and thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be here. I'll be very brief. Central Poultry Development Organization actually is under the Department of DASD, Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and there are 4 CPDOs in India. So for the northern it is in Chandigarh. So basically what we do is we give trainings and also supply germplasm like hatching eggs and chicks to the farmers as well as the state governments. Mostly we supply to the state governments. So as you have know, the advantages of backyard farming is there. Everybody has spoken about it. So mainly there's only like the poultry sector has gone up like anything, but mostly the commercial sector has grown, not the backyard. It is mostly because there are many disadvantages. Mostly the marginal farmers, they take up this thing and they don't know the technical knowledge. They don't have the technical knowledge. They don't do the vaccination. They don't follow the biosecurity measures. So that mortality is more. So what we do is we give trainings, and our training is completely free for 6 days. And afterwards also, if they need anything, if they come for the germplasm, even we supply them 20 chicks also they need, we give. Usually the private sector, they don't give like that. So that's how we are trying to promote. And CPDOs are there for a very long time, especially this Chandigarh CPDO. It was like under the Punjab government in 1966. And then it came under the UT government. And from 1973, it is under the central government. But it's really doing great things for the farmers there, especially the marginal farmers. But because advertisement is very less for the government organizations, so people doesn't know about it much, but they're doing a lot for that. And actually, especially those hilly states like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu and Kashmir, they are very much benefited by our breeds. We have Chabro. Chabro is a dual purpose broiler, I mean colored broiler, and people prefer that. Especially in Srinagar, when I've gone there, Hari Parbat also, they take our hatching eggs and they hatch them there, and it's a great demand there. Even Himachal, we go give training in different states also. Our resource person will go there and they'll give trainings in different states. So when we went to Chotra, there's a place called Chotra in Himachal Pradesh, and there are so many entrepreneurs have come up there, and especially Karaknath. And they are now selling them. They are like Karaknath eggs, they are selling at 25 per piece. And the the birds, they're selling at 1,000 per piece. When I last went, 2 months before, I think, went for a training there, and the entrepreneurs have come and they're doing so well. Even they have their own hatcheries, incubators, and they will put the eggs there and they'll hatch and they'll supply to others. And their income, employment generation also, they're keeping some other persons also, they're giving employees to other people also. So it really feels great when we see that. And branding is very important, like I said, that because you see, we are selling like quails. Quail also in UP, many people have taken up quail farming also, and they're branding it well. One Kasif is there, he's doing very well. He's branding his quail eggs, and they're selling them eggs and birds. Like we are selling the quails at 45 per piece, but Lycias is selling those same quails like in 500 3 pieces. Just imagine the branding. because it's a government farm, we're selling it in 40, 45. So if we can promote that, if they can promote as a brand, it is really very good. And even quails also, they have a very high demand in some people because they think that it helps in diseases also, and it is like a game bird. So there are so many, and Kadaknat is very very popular in Himachal. I have seen Uttarakhand also. We have a chabro. Chabro is also in very high demand for us. I'll be very brief. Just finish up. Don't worry. So that's what I was trying to say. And like in Alpa also in Assam, there's a Kamrupa breed that's doing well. And there's a cooperatives also. Cooperatives are doing well, HSG groups and all. So there's one Gurvinda Chima also I have seen in Chandigarh, nearby Chandigarh, and they have a FP of Kadaknat. And he's blending the Kadaknat egg so well, and they're selling at premium prices. So I just finished it up. Thank you so much.
Great. Dr. Kamna, thank you for sticking to the timelines. I will take two elevated questions. You know, elevated question, 30-second question, 30-second answer. So, and then during lunch, you have the free time, like free-range birds. So 30 second, elevated questions, elevated answers. हाँ, थोड़ा सा मतलब quick, हाँ, very quick, 30 seconds.
नेटिव ब्रीड्स
देसी जी
देसी में इंडिजिनस में फर्क।
हाँ,
नेटिव ब्रीड्स का मतलब जो लोकल पाए जाते हैं जी, उनका कोई रिकॉग्निशन नहीं
जी, कोई
इंडिया में इस समय 19 ब्रीड्स जो इंडिजिनस ब्रीड्स हैं उनको एनवीजीआर ने रिकॉग्नाइज किया है, उनको हम मानते हैं इंडिजिनस ब्रीड। जो नेटिव ब्रीड्स हैं उनको रिकॉग्निशन नहीं है, और इसी के आधार पर जो ब्रीड्स बताई डॉक्टर साहब ने, इनके आधार पर ही गवर्नमेंट ने बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री के लिए लो इनपुट टेक्नोलॉजी की बर्ड्स रिकॉग्नाइज की है, गवर्नमेंट ने गाइडलाइन भी जारी की है। उनमें से डॉक्टर मैडम के यहाँ का है चैबू, जो भी नाम लिया है उन्होंने, राजा गिर राजा कैरी वालों ने डेवलप की है, यूपी कैरी गोल्ड वगैरह। हमारी जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ यूपी है वो बैकयार्ड के रूप में लो इनपुट टेक्नोलॉजी की बर्ड्स ही सप्लाई दे रही है। लेकिन दिक्कत ये आ रही है कि लो इनपुट टेक्नोलॉजी के बर्ड्स जो ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन कर रही हैं, इनपुट हमें कम देना पड़ता है, लेकिन उनकी संख्या नहीं है। बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जी, 200, 400, 500 लेके बैठे हुए हैं। कोई भी कॉमर्शियल सेक्टर का आदमी इंडिया में तो 2-3 फर्में हैं जो बड़े मात्रा में इसको पैदा कर रही हैं, प्रोडक्शन कर रही हैं। अब हमें यूपी में बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री हमारे यहाँ 10 सालों से चल रहा है, और हम हर साल लगभग 15,000, 16,000 लोगों को इससे बेनिफिट करते हैं, लेकिन हमें उसके चिक्स ही नहीं मिल पाते हैं। मैडम के हम भी हम बात करते हैं, कैरी गोल्ड में हम बात करते हैं, लेकिन हमें नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं। एक तो बात मुझे आपसे ये कहनी है, दूसरा मुझे ये कहना है कि आपने कड़कनाथ की बात की, ब्रांडिंग कीजिए। ब्रांडिंग करने से कुछ समय के लिए तो आपका प्रोडक्शन जितना है उसका बाजार में वैल्यू होगा। आज की डेट में कड़कनाथ का डिमांड क्यों कम हो गया? दत्ता ने अभी बताया उनका एक फार्म है घर पे, कोई नहीं पूछता, क्योंकि कड़कनाथ करके लोगों ने एक हुआ बना दिया, इसका मीट में मेडिसिनल प्रॉपर्टी है, इसमें ये फायदा है, लेकिन आज की तारीख में कोई रिसर्च नहीं हुआ है कि कड़कनाथ मीट में अंडे में विशेषता है उस चीज। जब लोगों ने जाना कि इसमें कोई अंतर नहीं है, सिर्फ प्रेग्नेंट की वजह से उसका रंग काला है, उसका मीट काला है, आदमी अट्रैक्ट होते हैं, आज की तारीख में कोई उसका बेनिफिट नहीं मिल पा रहा, इसलिए उसका बंद हो गया। तो जब तक उसमें हम क्वालिटी नहीं देंगे, प्रोडक्शन अगर कम है तो आपको फायदा होगा ही नहीं, तो फायदा नहीं होगा तो आप उस काम करेंगे क्यों? इस चीज को ये कहनी थी कि एक अभी बात चल रही है केज फ्री सिस्टम जी, जो एनिमल वेलफेयर वाले हैं कह रहे हैं कि हमारे यूरोप में दूसरे कंट्रीज में केज फ्री सिस्टम में पोल्ट्री करिए जी। हमारे यूपी में भी आए थे, गवर्नमेंट से डिमांड कर रहे हैं कि हमें आप जमीन दीजिए, फंड दीजिए, तो हम यहाँ शुरू करना चाहते हैं। हमने उनसे ये पूछा कि केज फ्री बर्ड्स का जो अंडा होगा उसकी क्या फायदा है, उसको क्या विशेषता है अलग से? बोले कोई अंतर नहीं है। तो बोले साहब इसका अंडा बहुत महंगा बिकता है बाजार में, बड़े बड़े शोरूम है, बड़े बड़े मॉल हैं, वहाँ पे जाकर के वही 8 रुपए का अंडा आप 20 रुपए बेच दीजिए, लेकिन वो कब तक बिकेगा? जब उसके अंदर कोई क्वालिटी नहीं होगी, कुछ एक्स्ट्रा नहीं होगा, तो आपको कब तक वो आदमी आपका करके लेगा? फिर आप कह रहे हो एनिमल वेलफेयर हो रहा है, और उसी वो जो करना चाह रहे हैं वो सेम वही करना चाह रहे हैं इसी सिस्टम पे।
कन्फर्मेटरी कंट्रोल, बस वो केज की जो पार्टीशन कंपार्टमेंट वो खत्म कर देंगे और बाकी चीजें सेम वही रहेंगी। ठीक है सर, आप
मैं बताऊंगा। अब एक तो रिसर्च का जो है, आप जो लास्ट में बताए ना, तो इसलिए है ना, एवरी एज पर ग्लोबल इकोसिस्टम जो है ना, एवरी ऑर्गेनिज्म हैज राइट टू लिव इन नेचुरल कंडीशंस। सो वो लेके स्टार्ट हुआ था, वो केज फ्री सिस्टम जो भी है वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में अडॉप्ट हुआ, इंडिया में भी अडॉप्ट करना बोल के है, एंड इफ नॉट नाउ इट इज गोइंग टू बी देयर। तो उसके लिए ना गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया जो भी है, वो एवियरी सिस्टम और एनरिच्ड केजेस ऐसा जो है, वी हैव टू आर्टिफिशियली उसमें क्रिएट करना है, उसका मूवमेंट स्पेस सफिशिएंट होना है, कुछ परचेस होना है। वो बर्ड्स का हैबिट जो है ना, उठ के बैठ के ऐसा होता, वो करना है। दैट इफ नॉट नाउ वी हैव टू डू। तो उसका जो है ना, आपको जो न्यूट्रिटिव वैल्यू जो बता रहा है, न्यूट्रिटिव वैल्यू एब्सोल्युटली देयर इज नो डिफरेंस। अंडा में आप फ्री रेंज अंडा खाओ, दूसरा अंडा खाओ, न्यूट्रिटिव वैल्यू वाइज ऑलमोस्ट सेम। अदर नो अंडा थोड़ा बड़ा होता, इनपुट बर्ड्स का लो इनपुट बर्ड्स बता रहे हैं, ज़्यादा होने से क्वांटिटी बढ़ता, बट न्यूट्रिटिव वैल्यू वाइज ऑल आर सेम। तो इसलिए वो तो गवर्नमेंट का डिसीजन है, वी हैव टू फॉलो, इट इज गोइंग टू बी देयर। बट लकीली आवर गवर्नमेंट इज प्रो फार्मर, प्रो पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री। नाउ पोल्ट्री बर्ड्स का जो है ना, उसका एरिया भी जितना होना है एक सेफ्टी केज में, और कमर्शियल फार्मर जो है ना, वो भी बहुत ग्रीडी रहता, 2 बर्ड्स रखने का जगह में 4 बर्ड्स रखते। So now it is already mandated that at least we have to give 0.54 SFT per bird. उसका हिसाब से करना है। अभी जो 4 रखते थे वो 3 रखना है।
लंच पर इस पर WTO का जो रेगुलेशन से जो मैंडेटरी इस पर डिस्कस करेंगे, और एकदम होना है इसको,
वो है सर, कुछ नहीं कर सकते।
उसको टाल नहीं सकते।
और दूसरा आप जो बताना है अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ बर्ड्स का जो है, whatever the low inputs varieties developed either by ICR or by universities, so we have limited facilities. That's why now what we are promoting through state governments, where they can already, all state governments have poultry farms and hatcheries. There they can multiply like a parent unit, what in this model they have shown. They can act as a parent unit and a mother unit type of concept, so that number can be increased.
सर, आपका जवाब जो है, आपकी से प्रश्न ये है, आपके पास 2 गाय है, गंगा तिरी आपकी गाय है, उसका दूध खाइएगा कि एक जर्सी गाय आपके पास हो, आप किसका प्रेफर कीजिएगा?
सर देखिए, मैं हाँ अंतर है
देख लीजिए,
देखिए प्लीज सर देखिए, सर मेरे तरफ से एक अनुरोध है, प्लीज, बिकॉज यू आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम इन द सेंस, बिकॉज देयर इज अ स्टिंजेंट नॉर्म हियर, सो इस स्टिंजेंट नॉर्म को
we'll discuss, sir.
we'll discuss during lunch time, and I thank all my esteemed panel members. Many thanks for making this session so lively, so enriching. Thank you all, one and all, and thanks to all delegates here that they have made it enriched. Yeah. So now, Ankush, please, he has been waiting to make me free.
I mean, it's extremely interesting. We go to so many conferences, but this has been very interactive, and I think that's the beauty of the participants who are here, the panelists who are here, and we are very thankful that everybody is interacting so openly about it. So now we are reaching towards the end of this program. Before we end, we have the community members from 2 states who have come and joined us. So we would like to felicitate them for the great work they are doing on ground. And for that, we would invite Neena ji, Surita ji, and Dipanvita to quickly, I'll just take their names and please provide them the certificates and the gifts. T. Rajashekhar. Please come. आ जाओ, मैं नाम लेता हूँ। के देवी। एस सरस्वती। एस सिंगर। के भानुमति। रेखावती मोहंता। रेखावती मोहंता। गीतांजलि मोहंता।
नेट में थोड़ा ऑनलाइन में चले जाती हूँ, जल्दी पेज वगैरह बनाते हैं तो जो भी काम होता है छुपा रहता है।
मालती नायक।
आए थे सर। हाँ यहाँ से हटा था। हाँ ना वो था लेकिन दूसरा ये था उनका नाम था।
प्रवासिनी पात्रा। जयंती मोहंता।
डॉक्टर सर भी बहुत इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं। डॉक्टर सर इंटरेस्ट ले रहे हैं। बेंगलोर का तो सियाम हो गया है।
एंड शरद चंद्र मोहंता।
मतलब सियाम मतलब 5 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होते हैं।
अच्छा हाँ सेंट्रल
बेसिस बना दिया। ओनली ट्रेनिंग देते हैं
लास्ट।
महेश जी पहले से मुश्किल हो गया। जी सर। Now it is very difficult to run. हर चीज़ I did चले जाते हैं। पहले डालते थे बस। आइएगा मेरा इनके बनाएंगे।
Thank you. Now I would request Neena ji to give vote of thanks, and then we can proceed for lunch.
Namaste. I don't want to take a lot of time between the lunch and this room, as I'll really be very quick. Wow, this was a very vibrant conversation. So I really would like to thank each one of us in this room for so much of passion and patience also. So thank you very much for taking the time and coming here and then engaging in this conversation. So definitely the more debate and discussions we have, the better the model is going to be. So we have launched the model here, and I know the people that has worked together in this model, and they've done a ton of researches, talked with people, gone to rural areas and done a lot of things, and have put together a model. And the discussion that here clearly says that there's a lot that needs to be done yet. So I really thank the team that has come up with this. But again, I'm sure you'll be very open and keep your eyes and ears open to make it to the next level. Because what we have heard, and there are variety of different, poultry is a big industry in India. commercial, low input, backyard, whatever we call them, or very indigenous birds. But because the entire industry is so big, it will definitely have a share for all the varieties of birds that we're talking about. The commercial birds are going to be there forever, we know that, and they have their own share. And the backyard poultry will have its share. What I heard, the numbers is 9-10 crore of people depend on that. So that's not a small number. So it does demand a lot of work into it and research. And we are so glad to have the presence of all the experts and distinguished people here from the government, private sector, and others. So this interest and the passion shows that, I mean, the team that is working on the model really has a lot of follow-up work to be done. I really thank our National Development Board from UP for your invitation and the very important elements that you mentioned. I'm sure the folks that are working on the model has taken a note of that. We had the National Livestock Commission, who also had a very detailed, and I would like to thank him also. NRLM, it also offers a lot of opportunities for this sector to grow. Really, thank you. And the team that was here in the panel, so MSME, National Institute MSME, so I mean, we already heard there's a lot of schemes, a lot of offer. So there's no like restriction on the resources that's available. So we just have to follow up and be there. Thank you, madam, for being here. Cargill has been a partner with us in this hatching hope from a very long time, and then this piece of poultry is something very dear to Cargill and us, and more important, it's dear to the smallholder farmers. So there's a lot to be done. Thank you for being here. And we also have great researchers over here who is keen into looking at really the scientific evidences of breed and traceabilities and inputs and all. So thank you for ICR rep for being here. And the risk has always been there. I mean, without that, like the sustainability of the enterprise that we take forward is not going to be is going to be in a risk. So I mean, the insurance piece that came to conversation. Thank you, sir, for being here to highlight that and make it available. We are starting, Passing Gift is starting a small initiative with the team, and I'm sure that will be available for a larger number of smallholder farmers over here. And I'm also very interested. I mean, I wasn't aware, but Poshudan Prahari, that name itself is very, very like interesting. So you have dedicated your entire piece on that, like your pen on that is something very interesting. Thank you, sir, for being here. And from the government side, like the research institute that is present, that deals with so many diverse needs of the this sector. Thank you, madam, for being here. So all in all, Suryamaniji, for your facilitation and keeping everyone on time and still taking out the best out of them. It was a very thank you for being. So again, and above all, the Didis that have been here, no matter how much do we debate and discuss here, until the Didis think that we are making sense to them, it's not going to work. So thank you for coming here, Didis, and I hope that whatever we offer you on the table, you'll find that it is sensible and you pick it up from there. So we will listen to you very carefully, and your feedbacks is most important, because eventually, no matter how intellectually we debate this, until it makes sense to you, nothing matters. So once again, thank you very much for all of you that are present here, and others beyond this room who has this passion, dedication for the poultry and the upliftment of the smallholder farmers. Thank you very much. Time for lunch?
Would request everybody to proceed for lunch. Lunch is being served just outside the room.
जी